From the corner of Munson and Civic Center Boulevard, welcome Fanatics to the Menor Ice Arena for game number 11 of your Menor Icebreakers season. Tonight, the Icebreakers hosting the Port Huron Prowlers. I'm Angelo Vallada, and thank you for listening right here on YouTube.com, your home and away home for all Menor Icebreakers games, and I am joined alongside color commentary Jared Tennant for the second of a home weekend series with these visiting Prowlers, and the Prowlers last night took it 4-2 in a pretty strong effort, especially over the first two periods.
I'm sure the Prowlers, they earned that win last night, don't get me wrong, but the Icebreakers really didn't show up for the first two periods of the game. You know, they started to play their game in the third period, played with a ton of energy, got a couple of goals, but it was too little too late against a goaltender like Corey Simons.
Yeah, Corey Simons had a shutout going until Jared gave him the old broadcaster's jakes in the third period, but a good finish for Coach Duncan's squad, who was sick yesterday and missed the second and third period. He's feeling a lot better tonight. He'll be joined alongside goaltending coach Sebastian Ragnow on the Icebreakers bench. And I think one thing you mentioned in one of the second intermission, the Labatt Blue intermission, was that not only were the Icebreakers trying to battle back here and get a late victory, which is obviously always possible. You're never counted out of a contest, but that they needed to get some momentum to carry over into tonight's game. And Jared, when you take a look, Icebreakers have only played 3 games at home so far this year. Unfortunately, right now, 1-2 at Menor Ice Arena, the only win being the home opener against the Battle Creek. Or no, excuse me, they beat Danville 2-2. So they beat the Dashers. So they're even. And one thing you alluded to was, Rodebush hasn't been as rock solid here at home. But now they have a chance to right that ship, to carry over some of that momentum. So how important do you think it was that end of the third period yesterday, showing that they were going to battle with these Prowlers?
I think especially when it's your first time playing a team in a season, it's important to kind of gain that confidence to think, okay, we can play with these guys, we can beat them, we have the ability to play with them. I think they kind of gained some of that confidence last night with how they played in the third period. And I think another one of the encouraging things if you're an Icebreakers fan is even in their 3 losses so far, they have not lost by more than 2 goals in a game. They have a 1-goal loss, I believe, and then a couple of 2-goal losses.
Yeah, Delaware was the 1-goal loss. Watertown was 1-goal loss, and 2-goal, and then last night was a 2-goal loss as well. And we'll have another crack at these visiting Prowlers, and tonight is Princess, Superhero, and Villain night. So Fanatics here came dressed up. There's a chance to win a prize. All kinds of great promotions. You know where you find out about it is at MenorIcebreakers.com or the Menor Icebreakers social media. But now let's turn it over to Jared for the starting lineup of the Port Huron Prowlers.
In goal tonight for the Prowlers is going to be Chris Paulin taking over for Corey Simons, who had a heck of a game last night. On left wing is Matt Robertson, still looking for his 300th point tonight after getting held off the score sheet last night. On the right wing is Dalton Jay, and centering that line is Matt Graham. Left defense is Dalton Young, and on the right side, Alexander Strack.
So that's the lineup for the Port Huron Prowlers, who lead the all-time series with Menor from last year, 8-6 now. Starting lineup for your Menor Icebreakers. In between the pipes, 56, goalie Austin Rodebush, and Austin has started every game for Menor, giving Coach Ragnow and Coach Duncan a lot of stability in the net. At left defense, number 23, Vaughn Clouston. Right defense, number 25, Alfonso Diaz. Centering the line, number 11, the San Diego native, Parker Moskal. At left wing, Kent State Golden Flash, and Cleveland, Ohio native, number 14, John Butita, who also leads the FPHL in both points and goals scored. And at right wing, the Painesville, Ohio native, just a stone's throw from Menor Ice Arena, played hockey his whole youth here at Menor Ice Arena, number 22, right wing, Declan Conway. So that is the starting lineup for both teams here. And we are about 5 minutes away from opening puck drop and waiting for the teams to take to the ice. And we want to tell you, remember, the Icebreakers are going on the road for a little while. On the road again. Don't miss out on any of the action, as all games can be streamed live on YouTube, the official streaming home of the Federal Hockey League. Catch the Icebreakers on the road next Wednesday, November 25th. That's Thanksgiving Eve, as they take on the Columbus River Dragons. First trip against that expansion team down in Georgia. The game will be available on the River Dragons YouTube channel, but that's not the only away game coming up. They will play that Friday after Thanksgiving down in Columbus, and that Saturday. Then the Friday 6th and Saturday the 7th, a trip to Danville, Illinois, and David S. Palmer Arena. Friday the 13th of December, up to the rink at Battle Creek before they finally come home, and Santa comes with them. as Santa Claus will visit the Fanatics here at Menor Ice Arena. A 6:30 start on that Saturday the 14th here against Battle Creek in a split home and away series. But we're going to miss them here at Menor Ice Arena over the next couple weeks.
Yeah, for sure. Almost a stretch of an entire month without any home games, all the way until December 14th.
Yeah, and then we'll have all kinds of fun activities. Santa's coming. Icebreakers Christmas card giveaway on the 20th and on the 21st. Ugly Sweater Night. You can find out all the promotions and game schedule information at menoricebreakers.com. And you really got to come check out a game here. Join the Fanatics who have had a great time cheering on our 7-3 Icebreakers in their second season. Tickets start at just $13. Also available for $16. Or the ultimate experience in the Founders Room Suite, where you get restaurant quality food each game and a chance to meet and greet with the players and head coach Ian Duncan before the games as well. So really cool opportunities here, and you can get all that information at menoricebreakers.com or call the office at 440-290-8503. So we're getting set here for the teams to take to the ice, and the national anthem, which will be sung by Madison Sakita, one of Lake Health's athletic trainers. So, Jared, as we get ready for the opening puck drop here tonight from Menor Ice Arena, what do you think's the keys to getting off to a much faster start than maybe we saw last night?
Got to come out with energy for sure. You know, we talked about it a little bit last night, but when the Icebreakers score first, they've yet to lose this season. When they don't score first, they've only won one game out of 4. So it's definitely going to be one of the keys tonight in the opening period.
So the officials take to the ice, and I couldn't agree more, Jared. Let's start the game out right. Case in point, how about the home opener? 54 seconds in, John Butita scored his first of 3 goals put in the back of the net in a self-contained hat trick in the first period. We want to thank you for joining us here on YouTube.com and making us a part of your Saturday night. We always appreciate you listening, whether you're listening up in Port Huron, Michigan, Menor, Ohio, anywhere in between or beyond. We've got Casey Healy on the video stream. Jared Tennant joins me alongside color commentary and communications managers. Want to thank our off-ice officials, Brian Kelly, Greg Butala, Greg Kopp, Warren Linder, Russ Arala, Joe Knight, and Bobby Van Sickle. Taylor Ruyer on game day operations, and Frank Schmidt, operations intern. Our sound crew, who does a fabulous job here, keeping the Fanatics pumped up, Larry Rummel, Al Moon, and Lawrence Rummel. So big thank you to our great staff and everyone else here in the Menor Icebreakers organization. 2 minutes are left on the scoreboard as we get set for this game. And another interesting thing, we saw the Menor Cardinals. We updated you on that score all last night. They end up winning on a 2-point conversion caught by Luke Flory. Coach Trevisano decides to go for it, and they defeat the defending state champion St. Edward Eagles 36-35. Maybe during one of the intermissions we'll have to take a look, because there's a couple other great area teams in action to get to that same spot in other divisions. The Perry High School Pirates, who are undefeated, coached by Matt Rosati, and the Kirtland Hornets, led by Tiger Laverty, both 2 fabulous coaches as well in the area. We got a lot of great football, and we got a lot of great hockey in the area. Of course, Menor Ice Arena, not only the home to your Menor Icebreakers, but the Notre Dame Cathedral Lad and Lions, North Coast Collision, Menor High School Cardinals, and Lake Catholic Cougars, and of course, your Icebreakers. Well, the Prowlers have taken to the ice, and that means the guys in double blue are about to join them. When we come back, we'll have the national anthem sung by Madison Sakita and the opening puck drop in Game 2 of this weekend series and Game 11 overall here from Menor Ice Arena. Keep it right here.
At this time, please rise and remove your caps as Madison Sakita is going to bless us with our national anthem.
By the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of lovers?
Big thank you to Madison Sakita on singing the national anthem as we get set for opening puck drop. Hey, and a shout out on YouTube from Grandma Gregorich to her son Alexander's birthday tomorrow. That was posted up on YouTube, so happy early birthday to him as we get set for the beginning of the first period and opening puck drop. Once again, thank you for joining us here on YouTube.com. And hard to believe one thing, Jared, is that not only is this the last home game until December 14th when Santa comes to town, and so does the Battle Creek Rumblebees after a road game there. But next Thursday's Thanksgiving. We're less than a week away from Thanksgiving.
It'll be the second year in a row the Icebreakers are on the road for Thanksgiving. They were down in Carolina last year, and now they're going to be down in Columbus, even further south.
Yeah, not a quick road trip. So, quick, the most important question of the night is going to be asked to you right now, Jared, on the spot. Favorite part of the Thanksgiving meal?
Mashed potatoes, no contest.
No contest, he says. Okay. I like the turkey, but, you know, the side dishes is where it's at. I'd probably have to say I'm somewhere between loving the stuffing and the sweet potatoes. But I do like mashed potatoes as well.
Stuffing's definitely number 2.
Okay.
But no contest, mashed potatoes.
Mashed potatoes all day. I like it. Well, we're getting set for the puck drop. The Port Huron Prowlers in their road jerseys, white with red and black trim and red and black numbers. They will move left to right. The men are Icebreakers in their double blue, dark blue with light blue trim and white numbers will move right to left. And the Prowlers win the puck here on the draw, and we are underway from Menor Ice Arena. 1954 remaining here, and look at Graham skating all the way up to the circle, cut off there by the back line of the Icebreakers. Prowlers contend it in the neutral zone and able to get it back, cycle back Graham. He'll leave a pass there for the speedy Dalton J., the Hamilton, Ontario Canadian native. They'll get it off the far boards now, and now behind the net, Jay trying to center it. Nice move by Declan Conway to stick handle around a Prowler forward, makes his way past the blue line, looking to get it to Butita in the slot. Can't get the shot off. Back to Conway now. Boarded up there on the far boards, and now here come the Prowlers going the other way, led by Alexander Strack. He'll send it all the way down to Zulkanich, the Alaskan, down there on the far boards, down the back glass. Menor's able to clear it out into the neutral zone, but it goes off a Prowler stick, and Port Huron in control of the puck right now. Nippard works it up on the far board, or near boards, excuse me. Moskal takes it and swiftly makes his way into the neutral zone, but that pass ends up in a Port Huron territory. Once again, Zulkanich now crosses over the blue line from the circle, takes the first shot of the game, and it goes off of the right skate of Austin Rodebush. 18:46 remaining here in the first period.
The Icebreakers are still one of the top defensive teams in the league. Obviously, that stretch last night didn't look great, but other than that second period, they really did not play all that bad defensively. Only giving up 2.5 goals per game. That's third best in the FPHL this year.
Face off here in the right defensive circle. Prowlers maintain control of the puck. Giuliano will send that around the net. And a whistle on the ice now with only seconds ticking off. Waiting for confirmation on this call. Once again, it's Princess, Superhero, or Villain Night. Somebody's going to win a prize. They came dressed as their favorite character, did the Fanatics, joined in on the fun. We'll have some music and video clips to match the theme throughout the game for our fans. All kinds of great in-game promotions here at Menor Ice Arena. Face off the blue line closest to Rodebush in the Icebreakers defensive zone, and now Nippert makes his way over the blue line. A little give and go to Giuliano, but he is challenged by Farrington, so he gets a shot off, but can't quite get off much more than an uncontested look, and Rodebush will make the save.
Kind of interesting from last night's game. Prowlers' top 3 scorers, a trio of Robertson, Graham, and Jay. None of them had a point last night. Instead, it was guys like Federley, Portillo, a couple other guys stepping up and getting multiple points and leading the Prowlers to a 4-2 win.
Face off now, yeah, Matt Robertson still looking for his 300th point as well. He left to end the home road series with one, and now Stepan Jurovic, the Czech Republic native, makes his way into the blue line. He takes a spill to the ice there from Giuliano. Quick pass outside to Nippert, crosses over the left circle, looks to get the shot off. From behind him was Federley, bouncing all around the net there, and Rodebush will make the save.
Rodebush kind of bailed him out that time. Prowlers had a 3-on-1 break after Jurovic got taken down. Looks like the Icebreakers were just setting up in the offensive zone, and all of a sudden the Prowlers had another fast break.
Another thing you got to check out the next time you're at Menor Ice Arena, the brand new Shark-a-Tank area where you could get extra rowdy as a Fanatic for those that want to bang on the glass and get right in the action. The Shark Tank provides that opportunity. Icebreakers now getting boarded up here on the near boards, trying to make their way into the neutral zone, and do. Now Parker Moskal skates center, drops that pass back to Vaughn Clouston. Clouston will have to cycle it back to Diaz. Good pressure here from the Prowlers on the forecheck. Declan Conway now works it off. Will settle for a weak shot towards the net. Where in goal tonight, as we said, Corey Simons had a great game last night. Tonight, it is Chris Paulin, who's 3-3 on the other end. Federley takes it coast to coast, but it's a good save by Rodebush going the other way.
That went off the crossbar, actually. I think I might have heard that. Kind of got bailed out by the post that time.
Hey, you'll take any way you could get as long as it doesn't go in the back of the net. Now coming the other way. Trying to score first, as we talked about. They've struggled when they've given up the first goal. Only 1 win in 4 tries. So men are looking at strike early, but Port Huron trying to capitalize on the same strategy that worked last night. 17 minutes remaining. All 5 shots on goal coming from Port Huron. Matt Robertson, nice pass from the center ice to Dalton Jay. Dumps it behind the net. Now it's a race for the puck. Here on the far board, or near boards, excuse me, they'll send that one, but an errant pass, and it's coming the other way. Alex Morrow skates past the blue line, takes a spill to the ice. Trying to keep it alive down here is Isaiah Crawford. That'll go all the way over center ice, where Brody Duncan will pick up the puck. Immediately cross over center ice, but is boarded up by Dalton Jay. Now Crawford back from his own left circle. Works it up to Nate Farrington. Strack now in control of it at his right defensive circle for Port Huron. He'll send that one up along the boards. Now behind the net, Jurovic works it to Stuart Dant, in for the first time tonight. Pass picked off there by Brian Parsons. Team's kind of volleying in control here in the first handful of minutes from Menor Ice Arena. Game 2 of the weekend series. Parsons chips one from center ice. Rodebush leaves the net and taps it forward to Jurovic.
Remember last night, Corey Simons really was the big reason the Prowlers were up 1-0 after the first period. So far, the Prowlers are out shooting the Icebreakers 5-0, and Rodebush has been bailing them out and playing really well so far in the first 5 minutes.
Like to get some of that pressure off him. They took a hard wrist shot that bounced off the backboards behind him. And it's again Port Huron in control of the puck. Zulkanich passes it just over the blue line to Nippert at the right circle. Wind up in the glove save made by the lefty Austin Rodebush, Toledo, Ohio native. 6'3", 220, and he made a nice save for Menor there.
I think Rodebush is one of 3 Toledo natives playing in this game. Brody Duncan is from Toledo, so is Justin Portillo on the Prowlers.
So we will have a face-off now, right defensive circle in front of Rodebush. Port Huron wins the draw, and Vartiainen will send it behind the net. Now Giuliano goes right to left on that pass, a little hard. Port Huron will recover it. 6 shots on goal to the 0 now over the first 5 minutes of play as we are nearing the 15-minute mark remaining. And Conway was kind of hanging out down here, was hoping for a fast break going the other way. Men are now finally in control of the puck, and here comes Diaz. Pembroke Pines, Florida native, but that pass taken and stolen and going the other way. Justin Portillo, one of those Toledo, Ohio natives. But now, Menor, complete opposite way. Here they come. Henry Berger gets it up to Conway. Conway scored last night, his 6th goal of the season. That first one for Icebreakers. Butita flips one just over the crossbar. It's still hanging out there in the slot. And Stoya comes over to cut off Butita and not allow him to get the rebound shot there. And Menor almost capitalized on what would have been their first and then second shot of the game.
Kind of a weird bounce. That would have been a great way to get your first goal of the game. Less than 6 minutes into the contest.
I think Butita used a sand wedge on that one. He chipped that into the air like it was out of a sand trap.
Not sure Paul knew where it was for a second when the puck was in the air. It's kind of hard to keep track of.
Getting ready from a draw here in the left defensive circle in front of Paulin now. Paulin 3-3 on the year and comes into the game with 246 saves, so most likely will pass that 250 mark, of course. And he has a .902 save percentage.
Remember last year, Paulin had a couple of great games against the Icebreakers.
Yeah, we were talking off the air. Jared reminded me of his 51 save performance. Face-off one here by Farrington. Gets it to Berger. Berger winds up with the wrist shot, but it's deflected and takes a Port Huron bounce. Skips down on the floorboards. He recovers his own shot. What a performance there from Justin Portillo. He makes the deflection. He takes it himself, takes the hard wrist shot, recovers his own rebound, and puts it back in. And Portillo is a one-man tank there to put the Prowlers up 1-0. And unfortunately for Menor, they go to that disadvantage, which has been disadvantageous for them thus far in the 2019-2020 season and campaign.
I like that phrasing there, but for Justin Portillo, that's his 3rd goal on the weekend. Had a couple of goals last night, played great, and he's off to another great start tonight. He's giving the Wolves a ton of energy, playing hard, and he's getting rewarded so far in these 2 games. First of 10 in the season series between these 2 teams.
And we saw a lot of hustle last night from some Prowlers, especially Jonathan Giuliano, but you got to tip your hat, whether you're a Menor or Port Huron fan, to Portillo there. His resolve to make the play defensively, get the quick shot off from the slot, and then recover his own rebound right side and put it in the net, in the corner. He did everything right there. If you're a Prowler fan, that's exactly what you would want to see as they get off on the right track here to Port Huron, but Menor in that disadvantage, 7-1 shot on goal advantage for the Prowlers. And most importantly, the number on the scoreboard reads 1-0. But there, Isaiah Crawford almost got lucky on a puck that was kind of bouncing around the slot. Now McKenna in the action for the first time sends a pass that goes all the way back, and Brody Duncan will have to get it at the far end of his own right defensive circle. And now Port Huron, that gives them a second to apply the 2-man forecheck pressure. Work it up to Crawford here over the left defensive circle, now in front of Paulin. McKenna takes a board up there against the back glass. Port Huron trying to clear it out of their own defensive zone. Menor will chip that one behind the net. 13:15 remaining here in the first period of play for Menor Ice Arena. Dalton Jay was a little too fast for that pass. Goes behind him. We saw a few of those last night for the Icebreakers. Now Moskal goes for the slot, and the shot to Butita blocks back out from Paulin.
Great chance for your top goal scorer. You can't ask for much more than that.
And Butita was in the right spot at the right time, but so was Chris Paulin in the net. That puck almost goes out of play, bounces off the red tape there in front of the penalty box, stays in play. Zulkanich now is trying to get it to Jay in the slot where he is very dangerous, skating in very fastly. Icebreakers able to pick the puck up, though, and feed it up to Conway here on the near boards. Conway crosses over the blue line, dumps it back to Butita, and they'll send that one behind the net. Paul will tap it out to Giuliano. Giuliano now crosses into the neutral zone, gets it to Zulkanich, back to Giuliano from the left circle, and that one goes off just over the top of the crossbar and out of play on the 8th shot on goal for Port Huron. Now, Jared, this might be the last game of the weekend series, but remember, the weekend doesn't end on Sunday. Mo Monday, go to your local Menor, South Euclid, or Mayfield stores, 2 locations in Menor for burrito specials that'll make you feel like a lazy Sunday on Monday. Here they come the other way, Icebreakers. Morrow looking to find someone, but nobody home there, and Port Huron able to take control of the puck, but That was only momentarily. Nice feed from Farrington. Took the extra second to get it left to Morrow. Now back to Dimitri Danieluk, who made his season debut last night. Fights through traffic. Danieluk's going to get the shot off the top of his stick. Deflects off of Pollen's pads. Nice shot there by Danieluk.
Yeah, that was a great effort by Morrow. Kept the puck into the zone here.
And even before that, a good feed by Farrington. He took the extra second to bait the Prowler defender in, and that one a low save made by a leaning over Pollen.
A trio of second-year Icebreakers, Richie Pinkowski, Alex Morrow, Nate Farrington on that line, giving a lot of effort trying to spark this team.
So 11:38 remaining here in the first period of play. It's Prowlers 1, Icebreakers 0. Thanks for joining us here on YouTube.com. We'll have a face-off here, right defensive circle. It will be Zach McKenna skating up there against Austin Federley. Austin Federley, one of the natives from right around the Port Huron area, actually from Port Huron. One of a few guys that reside right in that area. Crawford gets it behind the net to McKenna. McKenna trying to find someone in the slot. No one is able to get that free. Crawford will have to cycle it back towards the blue line now. Backhand pass to McKenna. Boarded up there in the right corner. Slew of players trying to gain control of the puck, and it's Austin Federley. Nice weave in and out of Crawford there, but a nice move by Nikita Sedenko, his first time out on the ice to cut him off, although Portillo's coming the other way. Not for long, says Brody Duncan. Ran into a roadblock. The defenseman from Toledo, Butita, at center ice, off of the skate of Jurovic, and Brody Duncan will flip it forward to Joe Pace Jr., though. Now back to Brody Duncan playing a little game of catch, and right back to Joe Pace Jr. 10:43 remaining here in the first period of play. Off of the skate there of Paulin, and Alexander Strack will send that one forward. Jurovic picks it up for Menor, up to Parker Moskal near center ice. Declan Conway, pass that doesn't go too far, but now off the stick of Butita. Butita's going to have a chance here with Conway down there. And a whistle on the ice. 10:19 remaining here in the first period of play. We'd like to thank some of our corporate sponsors. Marco's Pizza, with locations in Menor on the Lake, Willoughby, Painesville, and South Euclid. Kemp LLC, Conway Land Title, Toe Drag Apparel, CSP Insurance, Wingate by Wyndham Hotel, and Market Street Family Restaurant. We'll tell you more of our great sponsors a little later in the broadcast. Port Huron wins the draw here. Icebreakers get control of it, though. Oh, Butita was looking to wind up, and Graham saw that, steals the puck from underneath him there. Men are evening out the shots on goal a bit, now trailing only 5-8 in that department after it started off 7-1, and even before that 6-0 in the Prowlers' favor. Robertson now just outside of the left defensive circle of men are taken by Butita, gets it to Conway. Conway makes it, takes it left side over the blue line, tries to make a move, leaves it to Moskal. Moskal finds Butita! There's that scoring line! Declan Conway to Parker Moskal to John Butita, and that trio does it again.
That's the great passing play by the Icebreakers' top line. Once they get going like that, once they're set up kind of that triangle formation, it's really tough to stop them if you're the defense.
So 9:41 remaining. Conway, Moskal, Butita, back of the net. And Butita skated in on the right side of the slot there and puts it to the top right corner. And for Coach Duncan's squad, a welcome change as they don't have to wait for the third period to wake up today. They respond right away. And if they want to get off of those ways of losing, giving up the first goal, I think this is how you answer. You do it in the same period.
Yeah, it looked like the officials were kind of talking that over. They might have been discussing whether or not that puck was kicked in, but it looked like Butita didn't even come close to making a kicking motion, so that meeting didn't take long. It's a tie game.
So under 10 minutes, halfway through the first period at Menor Ice Arena, and the Icebreakers tie it up on the feed from Conway to Moskal to Butita. That ties it up after Port Huron had the impressive score by Justin Portillo, who took it all the way.
I think they'll correct that goal. It was announced as Declan Conway, but I believe Butita finished that one off.
Yeah, I thought it was he was in on the assist.
Conway came in, took the puck into the zone, made the initial pass, but he didn't finish that one off.
And he fed it to Moskal even before the shot, and then that was to It was off of Moscow's pass, I believe, to Butita to finish it. Now coming the other way. Hard shot there from Giuliano, and glove save by Rodebush.
Austin flashing the other a little bit there with a nice glove save.
Nice save there, as that one had some heat on it. We'd like to thank a few more of our great sponsors: Spuddy's Tavern, Global Real Estate Advisors, Vitamix, Homelight, an online real estate company, Lake Erie Marine Sales, Mosaic Properties LLC, Stadium Grill, Preston Products LLC, Bethlehem Hills Christmas Lights Park, Cana Winery, Habco Tools and Development, McGarry & Sons, Nova Southeastern University, Auburn Career Center, Menor Ice Arena Fitness First, Gamley Village Automotive, JD Cleaners, the official dry cleaner of the Menor Icebreakers, and Burger IM. And Jared, as we're in trivia time here on Princess Superhero and Villain Night, and they're asking a question normally about the Icebreakers, but tonight about that category. Icebreakers tie it up at 1. We talked about how big that is doing it in the same period, but what do they have to do now to make sure they can maintain the bit of momentum they've swayed their way?
First of all, you got to finish the final, 8 or so minutes of this period strong. Digging into my stat book again here. When the Icebreakers are tied after one period, they've yet to lose. They're 2-0 so far this year. So getting that goal to tie it up was big, but you have to finish strong.
I love that trusty stat book. If you can imagine a binder, probably would you say about 40 inches thick?
I'd say about 42, 43.
Leather bound. We'll get
official.
the official number at some point, like we corrected our thumb wrestling tournament. Jared's still 75 over 1. And we're getting set now for more action on the ice. 1-1 is the score, 8-6 the shot on goal advantage in favor of the visiting Prowlers. But 1-1 on the scoreboard as the Icebreakers tie that one up on the Conway to Moscow to Butita goal. So it'll be Federley and Zach McKenna taking the draw here from the left defensive circle nearest Rodebush. Under 9 minutes to play here. Prowlers, of course, the winners last night in the first Friday night game for Menor Ice Arena, as they were 4-2 winners. Their third victory of the season. Austin Federley moved out of the draw, and taking his place now is Alexander Gregorich, the Berkeley, Michigan native, whose birthday is again tomorrow. Stuart Dant works that up one to Crawford. Now Stuart Dant comes back to take it. He'll send it back to Brody Duncan over his own blue line. Good forecheck by Portillo. Portillo almost took it away and would have had a 1-on-0 with Rodebush.
Now we saw him a few games here when he was with the Watertown Wolves. He didn't look as good as he does now, I'll say that. He wasn't bad, but he's definitely stepped up his game this year with the Prowlers.
He definitely had some moments last year, but the speed tonight he's
That's got to be interference.
There's Federley, and a hard spill on the ice there to Brody Duncan. An immediate whistle on the ice against the Prowlers will send Austin Federley. No, it will be Gregorich to the box.
Here, Gregorich, I'm not sure what you can argue there. You might have been saying it was incidental, but that was a little bit of a high hit, and he took out Brody Duncan away from the play. It's an easy call. Took one of the Icebreakers' only 2 defenders out of the play.
And that means for the first time tonight, the Menor Icebreakers will be on the Lake Health power play. A big thank you to Lake Health for providing medical staff for tonight's game, as well as training facilities for our players to use all season long at the Live Healthy Fitness Center in the Brunner Sandy Dietrich Wellness Campus, catty-corner right here in Menor. You'll enjoy convenient hours, state-of-the-art exercise equipment, and a friendly, experienced staff. A membership offers everything you need to help you reach your health and fitness goals.
I mentioned yesterday as well, these two teams have the top 2 power play units in the FPHL. The Icebreakers coming in at first, 28.6, and Port Huron's right behind them at 27%, but both teams, I believe, were 0 for 2 last night.
So we'll see if they can capitalize here on the draw. Farrington works it to the corner to Butita. Icebreakers, no time like the present to capitalize on the flip of momentum on the old seesaw. Interference was the official call against Gregorich. Clauston now from the left side of the blue line taps it forward to Conway, who was in on that first assist. Works it over to Moscow right side. Moscow deflects off the stick of Joe Pace Jr., player coach from Chicago, Illinois.
Joe Pace doing what he needs to do to get that puck out of the zone.
And now Vaughn Clauston trying to reset the play after that. Butita, nice touch pass to Moscow. Moscow over the circle. Clausen had a chance to wind up, but wasn't able to get a good stick under it. 7:29 remaining in the period. 1:10 left on your Lake Health power play. Clausen crosses back into the neutral zone.
Robertson's looking for that same interference call, but not going to get it that time.
That one flips high into the air like a quarter at the opening of a football game. Farrington takes a hard board from Joe Pace Jr. doing what he can to slow down the momentum of this power play. Butita trying to get it to Conway there in the slot. Moscow with a hard wrist shot takes a hard deflection off of Parsons. Now Moscow's going to have another opportunity. 43 seconds left in the power play. That one bounces off the right post and a whistle on the ice. 40 seconds left in this power play.
I feel like that last minute or so is the most physical we've seen these two teams play in this weekend series. Few hard hits on both sides.
Been relatively clean over the first night and half of a period, a little over half a period. One thing that these two teams have been noted for, though, is high-scoring games, although only 4-2 last night and 1-1 tonight, but there was multiple double-digit scores for Mentor last year, and Port Huron put up their fair share of goals here as well. So we're waiting for the officials to sort this one out in the right defensive circle. Little smudge there, center the right defensive circle. When we resume, there will be 40 seconds left in the Lake Health power play and 6:57. I saw Elsa here tonight. Jared did not dress up his favorite superhero or villain. And the Marines Toy for Tots campaign's underway. Starting yesterday until December 21st, bring new and unwrapped toys to Mentor Ice Arena. And those will be given to children in need. Help them have a Merry Christmas and spread a little Christmas cheer. Bring them right here to Mentor Ice Arena at a home game. Next one on the 14th or tonight. Or you could drop them off during business hours here at Mentor Ice Arena as well. A great charity there. So it looks like it'll be Stuart Dan on the draw. I don't know if we've seen him take a face-off. Official takes a spill to the ice right on that smudge. They wax the floor again. Duncan at the left blue line. Winds up. Nice pass to circle, but kind of dribbles past Morrow.
Better pass. Might have had a chance for a one-timer there, but right into the skates of Morrow. Didn't have much chance to get a stick on that one.
Stuart Dant gets it to Morrow. Morrow will reset this one to Daniel, to Duncan. Outside the left blue line, and a nice save in the breadbasket for Chris Paulin, as that shot will tie up the two teams on the shots on goal for the period, which when we return from the first intermission, we'll bring you the Habco Tool and Development shots on goal, as well as the Vitamix saves of the period. Well, a face-off now left defensive circle, and it's Stuart Dant taking it once again. Trying to get more involved in the offense over the last couple of games. Daniel sends that one hard off of the far boards. Port Huron trying to clear this one out, and the Prowlers are back to full strength now. But it won't be Gregorich on the return to the ice. It will be Matt Robertson and his 299 career points. 6 minutes now even remaining here in the first period of play. In the neutral zone, batted for control, and now behind the net, Rodebush will come out. He's got a heavy forecheck presence by the Prowlers, challenging him there. Now back at the left defense circle, Duncan, will feed it up to Sedenko. Try to get up to Richie Pinkowski, who's first returned to the ice in a few games. Richie Pinkowski back out on the ice, the forward from Allen Park, Michigan. Righty, 5'11", 185, and it's been at least a handful of games since we last saw Pinkowski. I think effectively nicknamed Pinky.
He does have a goal this year. He had one against Battle Creek, I believe.
Yeah, the Icebreakers had a lot of goals that game. 10 routed off against the yellow and black attack. And now away into the game for the first time tonight. And a nice save there, tipped down and picked up by Rodebush. Now, is Rodebush the, I think you were mentioning if he was the only one or one of the only ones that has started every game in goal for their team out of the 10 FPHL teams?
For a while, it was Jeremy Pominville of the Wolves and Henry Dill of the Thunderbirds, along with Rodebush et al. Started every game, but I think Rodebush at this point is the only one. And Ian Duncan said, I'll play him as much. Anytime he wants the net, I'll give it to him. And Rodebush has said, I want the net every night. So that's what's happened so far.
You got to like that hunger. Henry Dill had a fantastic season last year. Not that he's not having one this year, but he was lights out last year. That was a lights out laser disc shot from Parsons. Deflects off an Icebreaker jersey. They are able to clear that one out of the way. That could have been dangerous if the Icebreakers D-line wasn't in front of Rodebush.
Having a hard time clearing the zone right now.
And there's 4:47 now remaining here in the first period for Menor Ice Arena. So Kanich comes up, takes a hard shot that goes just wide right. He was skating in kind of sneakily there. I was afraid he was going to get a little bit of a better look than he did. Now the Icebreakers trying to clear it out. It hasn't gotten out of that defensive zone. That one kind of flips all around Rodebush's pads and gets to Alfonso Diaz now. Diaz will send one slicing through the air. And a whistle on the ice. 4:18 remaining here in the first period. Moe's Southwest Grill caters any event, office lunches, house parties, tailgates, weddings, ballet recitals, and yes, thumb wrestling tournaments. Jared, don't brag anymore right now. Moe's Catering will fill your fajita, taco, and nacho bars with fresh and flavorful ingredients, sure to please everyone. Order at moes.com/catering or visit us at our Menor, South Euclid, or Mayfield stores. Welcome to Moe's. Face off here in the right defensive circle in front of Rodebush. Prowlers will win it, but they have to cycle it back here in the neutral zone. Also, when we return from the first intermission of play, Jared will bring us the scores from around the league here in the Federal Prospects Hockey League. Giuliano now sends a pass up. Nippert will win it. Nippert's trying to get it, move it off to the other side. And get it off the short side, eventually gets it past Giuliano. They'll dump it behind the net. Giuliano takes a spill to the ice. It's in a dangerous area there, though. Icebreakers defense and back line closing out pretty well. Now from the blue line, Parsons sends it over the right circle. And Strack and Young will have to chase that one down. Moskal coming in on the forecheck, able to keep it alive. Sends it flying across the ice on the right side, and now it's a Yarovic sends one in that bounces off of the skate of Parsons, who will flip that one down towards Giuliano. Rodebush is able to get out in front of it, though, and tip it back out to Conway. Nice little feed there, short pass from Conway to Butita. He's got Moskal until winds up, takes his shot, and it almost looked like it went through the net. Moskal, can he work it tomorrow? And a whistle on the ice now with 2:54 remaining. Hard shot there from John Butita, though.
He's got a laser of a wrist shot, just went a little, sailed at that time. Icebreakers really been picking up their play the last 10 minutes or so of this period after Port Huron got up to another quick start.
They did not let that typical disadvantage play, at least out here in the first period. They have responded and been battling with the Prowlers, keeping equal times down here in the defensive zone of Port Huron. Another whistle on the ice. So we'll do a face-off now from the left defensive circle. Farrington will take the draw, tips it over to Morrow. Now backhand. A quick backhand shot, and another face-off will be earned here as Paulin tips that one back out.
It's like Daniel's been pretty aggressive so far. He's got a couple of those shots from the point in the first period. Only second game since re-signing with the team a couple of days ago.
He was signed around this time last year as well, and then was on the team for the rest of the way. Here comes Dalton Jay, though, speeding over the circle. He's left with Rodebush, dekes out a man, and nice last-second effort. That was aggressive by Daniel to cut him off, and they almost got it to Graham, though, there in the slot to make up for it. Dimitri Daniel really showing a physical side today.
As soon as I was complimenting him, he got burned on that Jay breakaway. I'm not sure if Rodebush came out and poke-checked that, if Jay just lost the puck, but either way, the Icebreakers caught a break. Easily could be a 2-1 game right now.
Now, you have to like Daniel. He did get burned on it, but he did come over and board him up afterwards, though, to make up for it.
It was a great hustle play to try and get back, but Jay's just too quick, and it's like Jay took a penalty. I'm not sure what it was for.
So that puts the Menor Icebreakers on the Lake Health power play. A big thank you to our Lake Health athletic trainers for all that they do. We will have a face-off now in the right defensive circle. Closest Paul in here, and it was Butita on the draw this time. Glove down there by Stoya.
Penalty for Port Huron, number 92, Dalton J. 2-minute penalty, holding.
And holding is the call against Dalton J. Now Brody Duncan in the neutral zone, maintains possession of the puck, crosses over the blue line, surveys his option, gets past one defender, and took a hard shot to the nose there. That never feels good. Now at the right line, Moskal sends it to Stuart Dant. Dant challenge there on the backboards, boards up Stoya. Now wrist shot by Duncan. He likes to get that to set up a deflection shot. That's how Brody Duncan gets quite a few of his assists. Has some of the hardest shots for the Icebreakers, I would say, Jared.
Yeah, Icebreakers actually had a hardest shot contest after their last practice, and Stephen Fowler won, clocked in at 88 miles an hour.
Wow, 88 miles an hour. Imagine that hitting you. Some of these guys get like, Mark Edwards took a hit like that from a puck. That does not feel good. The late, great Pete Franklin, Cleveland radio show, said the toughest two things to do are hit a 90-mile-an-hour baseball, save there made by Paulin, or stop a puck flying in at you. Now, not in the net, but can you imagine an 88-mile-an-hour puck sailing towards you, whether in the net or not?
Too loud, I'm not a goalie.
Yeah. You see them when we go down there for the interviews and the warm-ups, if we do a pregame interview, and you hear them smack off the back glass, and sounds like it would hurt if it wasn't glass. So now Nate Farrington on the draw to Morrow, to Henry Berger. Now over to Vaughn Clauston, right side. Zach McKenna hanging down there in the slot. Morrow tries to get it to him, turn and shoot! And a good save by Paulin, but McKenna put himself in a good position.
A good job just getting that shot off. He had a couple of Prowlers draped all over him, but he got that backhand shot off quickly, that Paulin was there to make the save.
28 seconds left in the first period of play. Do you know who got a second hardest shot in that contest, Jared?
I do not, but I know it's only 87 miles an hour, and you look at the NHL, guys are hitting 100 plus routinely, but it's still crazy to me, an 87-mile-an-hour puck coming at you.
I'll pass. I will take a hard pass. So since a cheetah goes about 60 miles an hour, it's like throwing a hyperspeed cheetah at you. Is that a good way to put it?
I guess you could.
Do you like that visual? Just like hurling a cheetah at you? Like a cheetah on skates.
I like it.
46 seconds left here in the first period. As we told you before, when we return, we'll give you all the statistics and the scores from around the league. Right now, though, Morrow crosses over the blue line. Nice deflection there by Parsons, so it flips it to the airport here. I'm trying to clear it out of their defensive zone. Men are battling to keep it down here, though. Farrington finds Brody Duncan. Brody Duncan will wind up. That one's deflecting all around Paulin. Shot goes wide right behind the net. 20 seconds left here in the period. Back to Brody. Oh, Brody with a nice spin move. He gets it to McKenna. McKenna's looking to get to Farrington. He'll have to settle to get it back to Brody. Will come back. He's trying to get it to Vaughn Clausen. They're working over the left defensive circle to Morrow. 7 seconds left. To Farrington at the left circle. Wind up. Deflects back out. 3 seconds left in the period. Clausen keeps it alive. Hey, credit to Vaughn Clausen. He gets the shot off. It doesn't score. But I like how he skated in there, cut hard, and was able to backhand shot that one as time expires here in the first period.
Yeah, the Icebreakers are really aggressive around the net there, and a couple of them paid the price, taking a couple of hard hits from the Prowlers.
So the score is 1-1 at the end of one. Icebreakers and Prowlers all tied up. Justin Portillo did it himself, going coast to coast at 14-18 remaining in the first period to put the Prowlers up 1-0. And then the Conway Moscow to Butita scoring line. Butita in the right slot, 9:41 remaining, tied it up at 1.
At the out-of-town scoreboard so far, Battle Creek, so we like to see, playing well. They scored early. Now they're tied 1-1 against Danbury. Down in Carolina, Thunderbirds are on top of the River Dragons 4-0. Elmira and Delaware are still scoreless, and Danville and Watertown still scoreless so far. But here in Menor, Icebreakers really had a good effort that period. Led shots on goal 14-10 after a slow start.
Yeah, and what would you say you want to see coming into the second period in a tied-up game here, all dotted up at 1?
Right now, just keep doing what you're doing. They're playing really aggressively in the offensive zone. They're doing a great job kind of making those Prowlers defenders take long shifts and getting a lot of zone time, making it tough on Port Huron.
Now, I was asked by a couple of people, Jared. I won't give any names, but somebody asked me if you defend the thumb wrestling title during intermissions, if that's how you spend your intermissions.
No comment.
No comment. You heard it there from Jared Tennant. You're going to hear a lot more of action. 2 more periods to go, and maybe overtime, because right now we're tied at 1. Plenty of hockey left here from Menor Ice Arena. Icebreakers 1, Prowlers 1. We'll be back before the second period. Keep it right here on YouTube.com. Welcome back to Menor Ice Arena, where the score is 1-1. Prowlers scored first. Icebreakers tie it up. And Jared's going to take a quick look around the FPHL in a full slate of action here tonight.
Over in Carolina, there's a ton of stuff going on. Right now it's 6-0. Thunderbirds on top of the River Dragons. We've had 4 ejections in that game. Sounds like a ton of fights, a ton of physical play. Dominic Fate's been ejected. I'm trying to see if I can get all the penalties off the box score.
4 ejections?
I believe it was 4 ejections total over in Carolina. So in Danbury, looks like the hat-tricks are pulling ahead a little bit. They're up 4-2 on the Rumblebees. Elmira and Delaware are still scoreless. And Danville and Watertown are just starting at 7:30, I believe.
And what was the final last night in Danville, Watertown?
2-1, Danville held on for a big win over the only second loss of the season for the Watertown Wolves.
So that keeps the Icebreakers only a game back for those playing at home. And if you're listening on YouTube.com, you are playing at home. So guess what, Jared? You're supposed to say what?
What's that? What?
It wasn't rhetorical. The Icebreakers begin the second period on the Lake Health power play.
I'd like to know for what penalty.
I'm not sure, but that's what we've been told, so we'll see.
I'll take it, not complaining.
You take what you can get. Now they're switching sides, of course. The Icebreakers in the double blue, dark blue jerseys, light blue trim. White numbers will now move left to right. The Port Huron Prowlers in their white jerseys with red and black trim, red and black numbers will move right to left. The Habco Tool and Development shots on goal for the period, 14 for Menor, 10 for Port Huron, after it started out all Port Huron. And the saves of the period, 13 for Paulin and 9 for Rodebush. So 19:52 remaining, and it is a power play with Dalton J in the penalty box.
Looks like they got him as soon as he came out of the box the first time. He was called for slashing right at the end of the first period.
Look at all that ice kicked up there, right in front of Rodebush. Quite a bit there. Now over center ice, Young chips it forward to Robertson, Mr. 299 right now. And if the Icebreakers have they wear, they'd like him to stay at 299 at least while he's here in Northeast Ohio. Here the Icebreakers come on the far boards. Moskal finds Butita, a little wide of a pass though. Cycles it back to Morrow. More to Brody Duncan. Tipped in off the stick of Declan Conway. The wrist shot leads to the deflection. And Declan Conway puts it in the back of the net for his second point. And you gotta like this 2 unanswered goals if you're an Icebreaker fan. And they do it only 41 seconds into the period. There's your momentum carryover.
Well, we weren't expecting to be on the power play there in the early goings of the second period, but the Icebreakers were, and they took only 51 seconds to capitalize with Declan Conway. That top line once again getting it done on the power play, giving the Icebreakers their first lead of this series.
And that is Declan Conway's 7th goal of the season. Moves him into sole place of second place for most goals scored for the Icebreakers. Now with 7, passes Parker Moskal with 6, who's had a great effort, especially with assists. So big season so far for Declan. He ended up with 10 goals. He had some injuries last year, but finished with 10 goals still. And tonight, though, he picks up his 7th one.
And now it's just a great deflection by Declan. He's having a great year this year after a 20-point season, like you said, last year in 35 games. But so far he's been healthy. He's been playing integral role in that top line for the Icebreakers.
That's right. He had that very clean scoring line, 10, 10, 20. Do you remember those? I don't know. Are you old enough to remember the 10, 10, 220 numbers that you call for collect?
I think I'm too young on that one.
All right. Somebody out there remembers them. There was payphones. Boarded up against the back glass now. Port Huron trying to clear this one out of their defensive zone. 18-10 left on the scoreboard and a whistle on the ice.
I think the Prowlers might be heading to the box again.
Tough start for the guys in white, red, and black so far.
Rishi Pinkowski.
Not so tough because we stand corrected. It's a icebreaker to the box.
One of those plays where you just missed the penalty. There's so much going on.
So let's see if Port Huron will be able to capitalize on an early power play opportunity for them.
Like we said, they were 0 for 2 last night, but they still have the second best power play in the league behind the Icebreakers, who just improved their percentage up from 28.6 to that last goal.
Look at that, straight from your binder. Was that page 17?
Page 17, Article A, Section 16.
Face off now here from the right defensive circle in front of Rodebush. Robertson comes up with it. They're trying to capitalize on the 5-4 advantage. Parsons to Robertson. Robertson winds up, deflects off of the stick of Dimitri Daniel.
Speaking of Robertson, he's got 5 power play goals on the year, second best in the league. So if he's going to get that point, as I say that, the Prowlers take a penalty.
Taking a supine fall was Henry Berger down behind the net, and another whistle on the ice.
That was a pretty easy tripping call that time.
So that'll even things out and make it 4-on-4. As it looks like it'll be
Zolkanix.
Yeah, he's waiting for the box to open to go in. The Kenai Alaskan native.
Doesn't agree with the call, but I've never seen a player agree with the call. So.
Yeah, you don't see too many agreements. 135 left in the penalty kill, but now the Icebreakers will actually have a 25-second differential in their favor because it's 4-on-4, and then for 25 seconds, the Icebreakers could return on the Lake Hill power play, barring a goal scored here either way, so we'll see how that shakes out. Brody Duncan loses control of the puck, and now coming the other way is Matt Graham. Graham was looking to get it to Robertson. Now Parsons picks it back up, sends it behind the net to Graham. Graham to Robertson. Nice steal there by Vaughn Clauston, and feeds that puck up to Parker Moskal, who jukes Vartiainen out. Over the circle, backhand pass to Clauston, and it goes off the back glass high. What a backhand play that was by Parker Moskal. Could have been a tremendous 15th assist on the year.
Yeah, Paulin just able to get his blocker on that one, hit it, deflected it right into the crossbar.
Parker Moskal, another word to describe him would be nimble. So now behind the net, it's Matt Robertson trying to make something happen. 35 seconds left while Pinkowski will sit in the box for Menor. Now Parsons has it right side. He winds up, takes a shot deflected. Federer's trying to go in. A late stick there from Vaughn Clauston.
Not sure what Clauston was doing.
That's very unnecessary.
He didn't like something that Federer was doing, and the Prowlers are deservedly getting into his face for that.
Yeah, we have to call it like we see it. I would say that was a very unnecessary late hit there by Clauston.
Surprised Icebreakers didn't take a slashing penalty on that one. That was a little bit undisciplined there.
It almost was strange. You were like watching it happen in plain sight. It wasn't like it was in the mix of everything. So 24 seconds left in the disadvantage for Menor. Well, not really because it's 4-4, but 24 seconds while Pinkowski's left in the box, and 45 seconds left while a Prowler sits in the box, and 16:24 remaining here in the second period. Thank you for joining us on YouTube.com. Daniel almost takes a seat on ice. Remember how many people uncannily fell to the ice untouched last night?
Nobody so far tonight, but I don't want to jinx it or anything.
So 24 seconds now for the Lake Hill power play. Daniel sends another flipper towards the net. 17-13 shot on goal advantage in favor of the Icebreakers. Butita sends it to Dale, who winds up nice deflection there by Dalton J. Works it up to Federley, who taps it forward, but nobody home. Berger will retrieve the loose puck and skate right to left around the net. Crosses over the blue line into the neutral zone over the other blue line.
Both teams full strength now as that Zolkanix penalty ends.
Farrington takes a little bit of a jab and takes a seat on the ice, but not untouched from Joe Pace Jr. Now Prowlers working it on the far boards. Nice cut back by Nippert. He'll leave it there for Zolkanix. Zolkanix at the right circle, cycles back to the right blue line, and Stoya takes a seat.
I think I did jinx it there.
You're Mr. Jinx, Jared. In the slot, though, and Zolkanix almost makes up for it by a quick goal to the right corner. That one bouncing all around Rodebush, off his glove. Clauston put a glove up. Everybody getting in on the action here. Nate Farrington trying to get it out of dodge. That was dangerous for the Icebreakers. That was bouncing all around Rodebush in the net. Clauston helped out there. Now Zolkanix sends a pass, but a little bit errant as it was behind his guy, and Alex Morrow will get it for the Icebreakers defensively. Morrow, 10 points in 10 games now. So Giuliano, wide open pass to Graham. Rodebush does enough to deflect it, and then the Icebreakers D-line closes it out.
I think that one might have snuck through the 5-hole, but just goes wide by inches.
And they had the 2-on-1, did Port Huron. Now Diaz leaves it for Morrow. Back to Diaz to give and go. The net comes off, but are they going to call it a goal? It was almost simultaneous there.
I don't think they're going to call that one a goal. Too close.
I don't believe so either, but the light did go off. And we'll see as they sort this one out, 14:24 remaining. I'd like to thank our off-ice officials, Brian Kelly, Greg Butala, Greg Kopp, Warren Linder, Russ Arella, Joe Knight, and Bobby Van Sickle, as well as Taylor Ruyer on game day operations and Frank Schmidt, operations intern.
Goal judge did his job that time if the puck crossed the line, but looked like the net was well off before that happened.
So we'll see what the survey says here, but the score is 2-1 Icebreakers. Prowlers have evened up the shot on goal advance. We're watching the replay here. See if we can make ends of this one. While we wait for them to fix the net, we also like to thank our sound crew, Larry Rommel, Al Moon, and Lawrence Rommel, Jared Tennant, communications manager and color commentary, and Casey Healy on the video stream. Thank you again for making us a part of your Saturday night. Come check out a game, though. Not too late to get season tickets as well, which start as under $12 per seat. I'd also like to thank Spuddy's Tavern, the preferred restaurant of Menor Icebreakers, located in Menor on the Lake. They'll give you 10%, Fanatics, off their bill when you come to a home game and bring that ticket stub to Spuddy's Tavern of Menor on the Lake. So they waved it off. Am I correct, Jared?
Looking back at the replay, I'm not even sure the puck ever did go in. It's kind of, obviously we don't have a great camera angle from up here, but Paulin definitely hit the net off, but I believe the puck was already past his crease at that point when the whistle was blown.
So the light lied to us.
Not sure. I don't want to make any accusations here.
It's 2-1 either way you slice it. No goal for the Icebreakers. Prowlers still trail by 1, 14:24 remaining. After the face-off here, the right defensive circle in front of Paulin and the Prowlers net. Morrow has it, cycles all the way back. Graham hot in his heels there. Now, Sedenko, one of the newest Icebreakers, joined the team a few weeks ago. I believe his debut was the home opener against the Rumblebees. Elbow there to Jurovic. And now chasing back to get it is Zach McKenna, the Powell, Ohio native, played D3 hockey at Worcester College. Gets it up to Sedenko. Sedenko crosses over the blue line. Nice little touch pass around to Diaz. Diaz circling it over, trying to get it to Alex Morrow. No, he'll send it back to Brody Duncan, pushes it forward, goes for that deflection once again. Port Huron saw it coming and closes out. Here they come.
They're
Nice.
2-on-1 break.
Dalton Jay to Robertson. Robertson surveying. Shot deflects off. Rebound by Jay. And the scoop and the save from Austin Rodebush. Call it save number 17 for Austin Rodebush.
Yeah, last night, Rodebush had a little bit of a rough second period, but so far, as well as we've seen him play so far here in the second period, he stopped. I'm not sure how many shots the Prowlers have, but he's looked great doing it.
Maybe his best home performance. Obviously got to win a couple of times this year against Battle Creek and Danville, but as far as letting them in, pretty impressed with his effort. One thing you have to give him credit in his wins and losses, he's been a workman. He's played every game.
The Prowlers are leading shots on goal 7-3 so far. Rodebush has stopped all 7 of those Port Huron shots.
So 13:26 referees sorting out something else we want to tell you about the Little Diamonds synchronized skating team. Were nice enough to join us during the first intermission. So that was a nice performance that they put on.
I think Alex Moore might be hurt. Trainers are coming out to help him.
Well, he'll be in good hands with our Lake Health athletic trainers, but never want to see anyone get hurt. Not quite sure what happened to him there. And one other thing we want to do is we're telling about the season ticket packages. Well, not only that, but we have brand new 7-game flex packages available. All the information at MenorIcebreakers.com. So we're back to the action here on the ice, 13:20 remaining. And the Icebreakers with the 2-1 lead, trying to avenge and get redemption from a 4-2 loss after a strong third period showing. But overall, ultimately a loss against Port Huron. Now behind the net, Clouston gets it to Conway. Conway crosses over the blue line. 12:55 remaining. And Portillo now will come up with it on the right defensive circle. Sends that feed up to Federley. Federley gets it up to Hatham Wade back in the game. And a nice save by the sliding Rodebush in front of his net.
Didn't realize Wade was playing tonight. Didn't think I saw his name in the lineup card.
Hatham Wade, number 22 from the Prowlers, Houston, Texas native. We'll have a face-off now in the right defensive circle. It will be Stewart, Dant, and Zulkanich. It's going to be won by Giuliano, and after he got the quick pass back and the low left-hand save made by Rodebush once again. So during the second period, Labatt Blue intermission. When we return, we will have the next shot on goals for the second period, as well as saves of the period, brought to you by Vitamix. And we will also, nice glove save made there by Rodebush, rebound. Picked back up by Nipper, trying to keep it alive. We'll also get you a score update from the Perry High School and Kirtland High School playoff games, respectively. Kirtland division champions. 12-12 remaining now. Menor sends it to Diaz at the blue line. Wrist shot there, gets deflected and taken by Dalton Young. Young sends it over center ice to Zulkanich. Zulkanich fakes, leaving it off for Giuliano. Skates right into the net, right into the slot. Tries to sneak it between the pads of Rodebush. Unable to do so. Giuliano recovers it. Gets it to Dalton Young, left side. Young deflects off the skate of Stewart. They turn and shot, and a nice awareness goal there by Zachary Zulkanich. It went off the skate of Stewart Dant. Zulkanich wastes no time, turns around to the right and taps it in right side to tie the game up at 2.
Well, that was bound to happen. Icebreakers just couldn't get the puck back. A couple of times, looked like the Prowlers cut right to the net. Menor needs to be a little bit more physical defensively. You can't let that happen. You're kind of leaving your goaltender out to dry when that happens.
So after a bounce off the skate, 11:46 remaining. Zulkanich on the turn and shoot right side, ties this one up. So both teams even through the first period, even so far through the second period. Dalton J takes a quick shot, bounces off the right pad of Rodebush. Now back to slot, try to get to Robertson. Port Huron trying to make it a wonderful minute for them and get 2 goals in the same minute. Quick action now. Robertson leaves that pass. Graham sends it forward. Icebreakers cut it off. Good job by the back line there of the guys in double blue. And now Brody Duncan will come away with the puck. Crosses over the blue line. Crosses center ice. Sends that pass up to McKenna. McKenna crosses the left circle. Turn and shoot. Goes just wide right. All of a sudden, Port Huron jumped out to a 7-shot on goal advantage. Give and go here. Graham from Jay. And a nice save there.
My. Austin Rodebush. I can't believe he saved that.
He had the 2-on-0 basically coming at him full force ahead. He saw a lot of white, red, and black, but he makes the sliding save and the scoop to keep it a 2-2 game.
That play kind of showed what we've been seeing the last couple of nights. These Icebreakers defensemen need to hustle back. They're just getting out-skated every time. So many 2-on-1 breaks that shouldn't happen that do because of the Prowlers' speed up front.
And it's really stemming from the counterplay. Icebreakers get a good look down at the other end, but if it doesn't capitalize, you're seeing Port Huron make them pay the price over the last 2 nights. Now, Gregorich takes a quick shot that goes into the net and a whistle on the ice. Almost halfway through the period, 10:49 now remaining in the period. Icebreakers have officially launched their official booster club. Visit the merchandise table next time you're here or MenorIcebreakers.com. Cool initiative there and a lot of good perks. Check it out on the website. Boarded up there by Declan Conway. Prowlers were skating back to beat him out. Now Moskal tries to keep it up. Butita's going to have a chance. Gets past his man. Oh, and he only had Paulin to beat, but Paulin came out and challenged him. Credit to Paulin there with a pretty aggressive play in the net there.
Good job by the Prowlers defense. They got beat that time with a nasty turnover, but
how about the nasty movement there? Dekes out the last man, Brian Parsons, and puts it in the back of the net, right corner. And after giving up a goal just about a minute and a half ago, exactly actually, the Icebreakers strike back and take a 3-2 lead.
Parker Moskal is a ton of fun to watch, especially when he's making moves like that. Seems like every time he scores, it's one of those highlight reel goals.
The human highlight reel, Parker Moskal, the man with moves on top of moves, takes it left circle, dekes out his man, and taps it to the right corner for his 7th goal of the season, tying him with Declan Conway for second most goals scored, only behind John Butita.
I think Paul might be arguing that he thought the net was up before that goal went in, but I don't think he's going to get
They
any
can't
with
be
these
off on
officials.
each icebreaker goal, can they?
It does seem to be coming off a lot tonight.
Last year, no more than last year, though.
Oh, thankfully.
So it's Icebreakers 3, Prowlers 2. They're on the Saturday night, game 2 of the weekend series. We'll have a face-off here, and Farrington pushes it forward, but an immediate whistle on the ice 4 seconds later.
Borderline offsides call, but I think they were just off by a hair. Farrington arguing that he doesn't think so.
Like you said, Jared, has anyone ever saw a call they liked?
No, you see that a lot with face-offs. Whenever a guy gets tossed from a face-off, I've never seen anybody not argue. You guys never think they should get tossed from face-off circles.
Zulkanich and Farrington on the draw. Clauston ends up winding up taking a shot from the right side of center ice. Now it's bouncing back. It's been an exciting second period after 1-1 first period, closely matched. And it initially was Port Huron's way, and then Menor took a favor. And second period, has been 2 goals scored so far for Menor and 1 for the Prowlers.
Looking back on our live stream at that last goal, I think Paulin might have had a point. Like that net came off just as the puck went in, but I don't know how you can call that in real time. It was so close.
Yeah, got to make a human call there. Farrington crosses over the blue line. Pushed a little bit out of the way by Joe Pace. Net made a little bit of movement there as well. 27-21, a shot on goal advantage in favor of the Prowlers still, though, but Icebreakers nursing a 1-goal lead, 3-2. And now a slew of players there on the far boards trying to make ends out of something and come away with it, and it's his Brody Duncan. Skate fast in, sends it off the back right boards. That one was a rocket shot in. And the whistle below the ice is no one can break free there. 8:59 remaining here in the second period of play on the way to our Labatt Blue second intermission. The Prowlers come out of St. Clair County, the thumb area of eastern central Michigan, also known as the Blue Water area. They play all their home games at McMorran Arena and are cheered on by their mascot, Mitz the Cougar. And they debuted in 2016, winning the Commissioner's Cup in the first year and runners-up in 18, looking to get back to that. They are in the Western Division. Picked up 3 points last night, but with Danville getting the win, they stay behind the Dashers and the Thunderbirds. Still plenty of hockey, obviously, left of the season. We do trivia night here on Princess, Superhero, or Villain Night. Now, looking ahead, Jared, there's some exciting things. The next home game, they're on the road for the next 6 games, but next home game is December 14th. Santa Claus visits the Icebreakers. He'll be in the house. We'll be revealing our new Christmas jerseys to wear for all December home games. December 20th, giving away our team Christmas card to the fans that attend the game. And on December 21st, dig way back in that closet and pull out your ugliest sweater and head to the game for a chance to win the prize. In the meantime, go to youtube.com and follow the away team streams. Watch the games for free.
I mean, look at this current Prowlers roster. Franchise has been around for 5 years, but right now they have a ton of their all-time leading scorers on their roster. Matt Robertson, obviously, number 1 with 299. Dalton Jay's third on that list, 173 points. And in 5th place is Matt Graham, who's got 156 points. So a few guys that have been around and know what it takes to win in this league and know what it takes to score goals.
And obviously you want the guys to move up, or, there's all kinds of trades in the FPHL, but I like it when you see those handful of guys that stick it out one team. Obviously, Icebreakers only in their second year. We do have 14 players back, but 2 years, small sample size so far for, longevity on a team. Happy to have those guys back and the new guys in the fold as well. We'll have a face-off here in the right defensive circle. McKenna will take the draw. And Port Huron able to clear it out a bit of the defensive zone now. Nice push up to Graham. Graham's got Dalton Jay, one of the fastest guys in the FPHL, who sends a fast pass back to Graham crossing over right side. And now that pass is going to go the other way, down into the defensive zone in front of Paulin and the Prowlers net. Another whistle on the ice. A lot of whistles over the last couple of minutes, Jared.
It's been kind of stop and go in the second period.
Trying to get back to some more slamming action here as it was a fast start to the second period.
I think Port Huron was called for a penalty there. I didn't see the play. Going on Matt Stoya, number 24 for Port Huron.
Matt Stoya, the defenseman out of Marysville, Michigan, and that'll put the Icebreakers on the Lake Health power play. Again, a big thank you to the Lake Health athletic trainers and medical staff, as well as the Brunners Inn and Dietrich Wellness Campus here at the Live Healthy Fitness Center. Help you reach your fitness goals now and after New Year's for your resolutions, but start early. Check them out right here in Mentor, Ohio.
With a roughing call on Matt Stoya.
And a minute 50 remaining in the power play, 8:21 in the second period. Thanks for joining us on YouTube.com. Moscow at the blue line. Pass a little out of the reach of Duncan. Duncan will go over, retrieve the puck off the deflection of Petita. Now behind the net. Moscow will keep this play down here in the defensive zone of the Prowlers. Now back to Moscow, fakes a windup. Well, took the windup, faked the shot. Works it left side. Duncan winds up, goes wide right. I believe it's Morrow in that corner. He's all the way in that corner. Yep, it's Alex Morrow. He'll send it off, goes off the skate of Graham. Duncan keeps it down here off the slot, goes for the deflection shot. Was Morrow trying to make it 11-11. Back to Duncan, left side to Moscow, right side, blue line, wind up shot. Glove save, he's out at second. Nice catch by Chris Paulin.
Icebreakers looking for a couple of deflections there, but it just wasn't there. Good job keeping the puck in the zone, though, for the first 56 seconds of that power play.
Minute 4 seconds left here in the second period, or the power play here in the Lake Health power play, 7:38 remaining. 28-24 shot on goal advantage in favor of the visitors still, but men are back with the 1-goal lead. John Butita will take the draw for Menor, and it looks like Zachary Zilkanich, if I'm seeing that. Yep, Zachary Zilkanich. Moscow will get the pass back to him. Works it over to Duncan. Duncan, quick no-look pass to Moscow. Moscow into the corner, finds an icebreaker. Now back to Moscow. Moscow back to Stuart Dant. That's the guy in the corner for the guys at double loop. Back to Moscow, working a triangle passing here, and Butita's hanging out in the slot. Last year, the guy in the slot was Matt Kadoff. Picked up a lot of his 20 goals right from that slot area, and Butita has had several from that area this year as well.
Prowlers finally get that clear. Took a minute 30 of that power play for them to get it out of the zone that time.
They do eventually get the clear, and a nice one done by the Prowlers defensive line. Prowlers can even out their record with a win tonight. They would go to 4-4-2-0. I think they would like that up in Port Huron territory, battling in the Western Division. I believe you told us, Jared, that the top 4 teams make the playoffs in each division?
Top 4 in the Eastern, top 4 in the Western be in the playoffs.
So both of these teams would be in the playoffs, obviously very, very early to call that race, but not too early to tell you that the Lake Health power play expired, and the Prowlers are back to full strength, joined on the ice now by Matt Robertson, that native from Prince Albert, Saskatchewan, Canada. Now behind the net, Robertson being challenged by Henry Berger. Eventually cleared out. Icebreakers working it the other way. Nobody down there in the zone. Farrington skating, but that will draw the icing call as Port Huron able to get there much faster than the Icebreakers. 6:05 remaining here in the second period to Labatt Blue intermission. Reminder that for the intermission, we'll catch you up on the first 2 periods if you're just joining us here on YouTube.com. After the intermission, the Labatt Blue intermission, Jared will bring you the scores from around the league, and we'll have the Habco Tool and Development shots on goal. We'll give you one score, though, early. Anybody think the Thunderbirds were a fluke? I don't think so. 7-1 defending Commissioners Cup champs, up 7-0 on their southern rival, the Columbus River Dragons, and the save made there. And the River Dragons have had a pretty strong expansion year so far, but Carolina taking otherwise to that little maybe southern rivalry. There's most of the teams in the north here in the FPHL, but pretty much just Columbus and Carolina below the Mason-Dixon line. Little geography lesson for you there. Do you know your geography, Jared?
Somewhat.
Should we quiz you on state capitals in the third period?
I'm going to have to pass on that one.
You're going to pass, all right. So now we'll have a face-off here in the right defensive circle in front of Rodebush in the Icebreakers net. Board up here on the far corner. And Port Huron trying to keep this one down in the Icebreakers defensive zone and set up a possible scoring play to tie this one up in the final 5:44 of the second period of play. And get the sweep. That would be big for Port Huron. Of course, Icebreakers would say they'd like the exact opposite to happen. They get the weekend split in this home series. Butita, nice move there. Stick handles way into the neutral zone, passes it to Parker Moscow, left side. He's got Butita moving up for him. Butita takes the quick pass, tries to fire off a shot. It was a nice little give and go combination there, but the Prowler back line, led by Robertson there, cuts that one off easy. Now behind the net, Rodebush will come out and leave it there for Brody Duncan, Jonathan Giuliano, though able to pick up the pass. Looks for Robertson, and that would have been a quick shot from him, possible scoring play, but Dimitri Danieluk will feed it up to Declan Conway the other way over the left circle, right in front of the net to the slot, takes a shot, and in the back of the net, Brody Duncan made it look easy, and it's 4-2 Icebreakers.
Collins is losing his mind over there. I think the net might have, he's arguing it was off again. The second time tonight he's arguing it was off.
4:45 remaining. He is not happy at all. Brody Duncan skates over the left circle to the slot and takes the shot to the right corner.
You don't often see a goaltender react like that. He threw his stick, pushed the net, got right up in the official's face.
Now, would that be considered a delay of game?
If anything, it'd be an unsportsmanlike conduct, but I don't think you're going to get a call there. It's just some frustration from the goaltender.
Good crowd on here. Here, the Fanatics say whether it's a count of a penalty or not, they are happy about the goal scored. It's a three-goal period, for the Icebreakers.
And as soon as I said that there was going to be no penalty, looks like a Prowler is in the box there, and a penalty that I would assume is going to be on Paulin for that reaction.
So basically the rule of thumb is if Jared says something, expect it to happen or the opposite within the next minute of play. Is that correct, Jared?
This weekend, yes, for sure.
Yeah, you've been all over that. You've got you're batting 95%, I think, in that. So they're sorting this one out, and while they sort that out, I'd like to share a few things with you. Like the mobile team shop, next time you're here, gear up for the official Icebreakers merchandise. Only way to do it right here next to the bleachers at Menor Ice Arena. And we want to tell you, last night was the first free game for kids with a paying adult. You want to join the Junior Icebreakers Club. Kids ages 5 to 16 are eligible to join the brand new Junior Icebreakers Kids Club. Members receive a membership t-shirt and card, special access to events with players, and free admission with a paying adult during select games through the 19-20 season. Cost is just $15 per season per child. For more information, stop by the merchandise table here or MenorIcebreakers.com. And tonight was the debut of our cool popsicle sticks. You'll have to come check them out. They've got a shark fin on them for the kids to wave. And guess what, Jared? It's a goal and a penalty and a power play brought to you by Lake Health, all rolled up into one neat little package.
If you're Paulin, I get you're frustrated. I think he might have had a point again that time with the net coming off just as the puck went in, or maybe just before. But at the same time, you're costing your team, putting the Icebreakers right back on the power play, and they've already got a 2-goal lead. And
now you give them the power play advantage, which they've been able to score on, here tonight, and you don't want to give them any more advantage, especially with a 2-point lead and hungry after last night. Now you got to love carrying over the momentum. Outscored 0-4 over the first two periods yesterday. They outscored Port Huron 2-0 in the third period, and now, if you carry that over into today, a 6-2 advantage since yesterday. Now here comes Graham the other way, trying to change that up. Oh my! Rudelbush lays down. Clauston dives over him to protect that shot from Graham. So Conway is credited on the goal, and he retakes the lead as the second goal scorer, his 8th now of the year.
Good forecheck here from Port Huron, keeping the puck in the Icebreaker zone. Really the first minute of this power play.
So I thought the goal was for Brody Duncan, so they must have credited Duncan on the assist there. Is that the official scoring? Did they give us that? 3:35 remaining here in the period.
Looking like it was Conway from Danieluk and Berger.
I thought they had also announced Duncan was definitely right down there in the thick of
later.
So Conway, if that stands, would be his 8th goal and would put him in second place, only 2 away from tying last year's effort. 30 seconds left in this Lake Cal power play. Looking to set up a nice triangle passing, but an errant pass was easily read by Nippard, who's got Robertson in tow. Robertson at the left defensive circle in front of the Menor net. Shot in the slot, rockets off the back glass. That was from Nippard. Good placement on the ice tonight from Nippard. I've seen him at both ends making things happen. 2:50 remaining and only 4 seconds left in the Lake Cal power play. Will Moskal get the shot off in time for the power play? No, he will not, but they will keep it down here in the net. And the Prowlers back to full strength as Justin Portillo, who scored the first Prowlers goal, back on the ice. Remember, this is a game where the Prowlers took the 1-0 lead, something the Icebreakers have only been able to overcome once this season, but off to a 4-2 start now. Here come the Prowlers still. Good move by Stoya. Takes a hard shot off the right post. Coming the other way quickly now. John Butita loses control of the puck, though, and Port Huron regains possession. That pass taken by Conway, who is now on to a 2-goal night, possibly looking for a hat trick. I believe that would be his first hat trick in his career as an Icebreaker. 2 minutes even left, up to 8 now. That one will trail ahead of him, though, and Rodebush will push it forward with the front of his stick. Brody Duncan up to Pinkowski back out there now. Skates quickly across the blue line, leaves it for Sedenko. Sedenko fires, takes a spill to the ice, and now Port Huron coming the other way. Here goes Portillo. Portillo's got Federley, but he'll take the shot, just goes wide left. Minute 38 now. Big board up there on the boards, and I believe Federley takes a second hard spill to the ice.
Took a penalty call on the Icebreakers this time, but going back to Declan Conway, it's his first 2-goal game of the season. He has 3 points tonight, adding an assist to go along with those 2 goals. His second 3-point night of the season. It's his 5th multi-point game overall. So Declan having himself a pretty nice year in his second pro year with the Icebreakers.
And yeah, we'll see if it's Brody Duncan going to the box. It looks like he's arguing something with the official, as is head coach Ian Duncan here. We'll watch the replay and see if we can sort apples from oranges. Did you see what it was on that?
No one's agreed with any penalty calls tonight.
So they're still sorting this one out. I'd like to thank a few of our sponsors: Marco's Pizza, Kemp LLC, Conway Land Title, Toe Drag Apparel, CSP Insurance, Wingate by Wyndham Hotel, Market Street Family Restaurant, Global Real Estate Advisors, Spuddy's Tavern, Vitamix, Homelight, an online real estate company, Lake Erie Marine Sales, Mosaic Properties LLC, and Stadium Grill. Looks like we will have a face-off here. Blue line nearest Rodebush of the Icebreakers. And hard to believe we're only 2 minutes away from, less than 2 minutes away from the end of the second period in the Labatt Blue intermission.
Looking back at that penalty, it's first on Austin Rodebush of the season. He earned that one. Federley was hanging out in his crease a little bit too long. Well, I think that one did hit the, Prowlers arguing for a delay game here. I think that one did hit off the glass. But going back to Rodebush, he definitely took Federley out. He definitely earned that one. You got to get your money's worth, I guess, if you're going to take the penalty.
He's 6'3", 220. You know, that's the kind of frame. He is the tallest Icebreaker on the team, tied with Zach McKenna. He's the biggest guy in the Icebreakers team as far as a sturdy frame. And when you're going up against him, Austin Federley, 5'6", 150, awesome player, but Rodebush is like a wall. Credit to Federley for hanging in there. Stuart Dant will chip that one down, but it's gloved down by Robertson. Minute 36 left in the penalty kill. Now, how about this? Would you have ever guessed that the last 2 penalties would be served by the goalies? Both
Sure, the
goalies.
last 2 penalties have been called on the goaltenders in this one. I don't know if I've ever seen that.
Put it down in your binder.
Very different reasons.
Write that down in your binder right now, Jared, so we could recall the stat when it happens 4 years from now. Now Parker Moskal chasing Zulkanich, not trying to let him set that up. Robertson back to Parsons, back to Robertson, to Jay at the left circle. Winds up, shoots, deflection. That's a dangerous area. Graham almost sneaks it in. And a whistle on the ice. 34.6 seconds left. So 59 seconds left in the penalty kill. And barring a power play goal for the Prowlers here, while the Icebreakers are shorthanded, that will carry over for about 20 seconds in the third period after the Labatt Blue second intermission.
Rotobush is really kind of showing he's getting sick of those Prowlers being in his crease all night, and he's kind of been taking matters into his own hands after every play, getting in their faces and kind of trying to clear them out.
He's taking ownership of that net right now.
No one else is going to do it for him. He might as well.
Face off here, left defensive circle. Port Huron will win it. Stoya gets it to Dalton Young. They're now in the slot. Portillo turn and shoot. Nice job by Rotobush. That's a goal if Rotobush doesn't pull up there.
That looked like, I thought that one was going to go in for sure. The puck was just sitting out there for what felt like forever.
It was like on a string there. But you got to give credit to Rotobush there. If he stays in his net, it's tapped around him. But he came up and challenged it, and that prevents the Prowler goal to cut this to a 4-3 game. 4 seconds left here in the period. The power play will continue for the Prowlers into the next period. Prowlers are unable to get the shot off on goal. And at the end of 2, it is Icebreakers 4, Prowlers 2. It started off with a power play goal. Duncan and Conway connecting. 19:09 left in the second period of play. Zilkanich on the turn and shoot to the right corner at 11:46. Parker Moskal deked out left circle and tapped one in right corner with 10:16 remaining. And then Brody Duncan and Declan Conway team up for one more goal. Conway second tonight, third point of the night with 4:45 remaining. And that will put the Icebreakers up 4-2 after a 1-1 first period. They outscore the Prowlers 3-1 in that period. It'll be an exciting third period coming up, Jared.
And looking back at some of the stats that period, Prowlers led shots on goal 25-12, but on the scoreboard where it counts, it was 3-1 Menor. So the Icebreakers are on top 4-2. You can expect a big Prowlers push in the third period. Icebreakers need to keep doing what they're doing and playing good defense, like Ian Duncan said this week. Got to commit to defense. That's got to be the priority, especially in offensive-minded league like the FPHL.
And that is exactly right. They'll have to do that for the next 20 minutes. We're going to take a brief break here on the Labatt Blues second intermission. When we return, Jared will update you on the scores around the FPHL. We'll get you a Kirtland and Perry football score, seeing if they can make the Final Four in their respective divisions. And we'll give you the Vitamix and Habco Tool Development shots on goal and saves of the period. Keep it right here on YouTube.com. Welcome back to Menor Ice Arena. Look what I'm waving, Jared. They finally passed them out. Big thanks to Mary Ellen Kramer for making all of these. The junior Icebreakers or any of our fanatics can wave the popsicle sticks with the fin on them and cheer our team on in any moments in their glory and their comebacks. But, Jared, take a look around the FPHL for us because there's a couple interesting things going around in the league right now.
Well, we'll start off down in Carolina. It's now 8-0 Thunderbirds. They've been all over Columbus in what's been a pretty physical game. I see at least 2 ejections in the box score. Dominic Fate for sure has been ejected from Carolina. And the Thunderbirds right now are leading shots on goal 44-14 in Winston-Salem at the Annex. Trying to see if I can see who else was ejected. Brantley Sherwood for Columbus also had a game misconduct. Over in Danbury, Hattrick's taking control. They're up 6-2 on the Rumblebees. Delaware is up 3-1 on Elmira. And over in Watertown, the Wolves are on top of the Dashers 1-0.
So the Wolves are just trying to do everything we do, or we're trying to do everything they do. Last night, neither team gained or lost ground, and if both Menor and Watertown hold out, obviously plenty of hockey left in 2 close games, 1 and 2 goal games. That would be the same with the win. So Menor could tie it if Watertown lost, or Watertown can stay ahead by 1. We also have a couple of high school scores for you. Of course, the Menor Cardinals won in overtime on the Kip to Floria 2-point conversion pass. And the Cardinals continue 13-0 to play Pickering Central, who they lost in the state finals to 2 years ago on Friday night in the Final Four, trying to have a storybook ending. And they beat St. Ed's last night. But the Perry High School Pirates trailing 14-7 at the half to Poland Seminary, the Bulldogs. And it is Kirtland, the Hornets, up 22-7 over their opponents. I believe, was it Worcester? It was a school I had not seen. I had heard of Poland Seminary, as they play a lot of the area teams as well. But Kirtland was beating Manchester. I knew it was a Chester. 22-7 at the half. So there is about minute 50 remaining until the third period. And we thank you for joining us on YouTube.com and making us a part of your Saturday night. Season ticket packages are available starting under $12 per seat. A brand new 7-game flex package is also available, giving you 7 ticket vouchers to use at any home game this season. For more information, visit MenorIcebreakers.com or call 440-290-8502. And please, fans, fanatics, don't forget our Marine Toys for Tots campaign is underway for the 2nd year in a row, collecting new unwrapped toys for kids in need. We will have a collection bids in the rink and outside of our team office. We'll be collecting toys up until December 21st game. These toys will be distributed to children in need throughout Lake and Geauga County at Christmas time. Your contribution can help make a child's Christmas a little more merry. Also, we'd like to thank Wingate by Wyndham La Malfa, the preferred hotel for the Menor Icebreakers. Visitors coming in and out of town can take advantage of special room rates when mentioning the Menor Icebreakers corporate rate when making reservations. And JD Cleaners, the official dry cleaners of your Menor Icebreakers. We are under a minute remaining until the third period kicks underway. And the Prowlers out in their white jerseys with red and black trim, red and black numbers. They will move left to right this period. The Icebreakers in their double blue, dark blue jerseys with light blue and white trim, white numbers, will move right to left. 20 minutes will be put back on the clock. The Habco Tool and Development shots on goal for the period, and Vitamix saves for the period. We will pull that up here for you. In the second period, the Prowlers 25-12 advantage. The numbers are seemingly misleading though, because the Icebreakers scored 3-1 goals there, and the Vitamix saves on period was also in Rhoda Bush's favor, as he stops 23 of those 25, while of the shots for the go back to the shot. The shots on goal for the period for the Port Huron Prowlers, they rattled off. We had a technical difficulty there, but we'll get it back to you in a second. The screen happened to freeze right when we were saying it, so apologize for that lack of statistical clarity. We're missing one stat on it, was how many saves that Paulin had in that period. We'll get it for you here momentarily, but thanks to Vitamix for providing the saves of the period.
I do want it to be known that I mentioned during the intermission that thought Delaware was going to beat Elmira, and Elmira proceeded to score 3 goals and tie it up. So
The JJ is in effect, the Jared Jinx. Sometimes it's in your favor, sometimes it's not in your favor. If you're a Thunder fan, it's not in your favor. So Port Huron rattled off 25 shots, and 23 of those were saved by Rodebush. 12 rattled off by Menor, and only 9 of those were saved by Paul, and that's brought to you by Vitamix for the save of the period. 19:06 remaining here in the second period. And the overall total shots on goal for the game, it's the Prowlers with a 10-shot on goal advantage. A whistle here and a lot of reaction here from the fans.
Prowlers were here at the icing call that time.
So there's 19:01 remaining here in the third period of play. Last period barring an overtime finish. And the Icebreakers, Coach Ian Duncan and Coach Ragno's squad, up 2 goals here. We'll have a face-off in the right defense circle. It'll be Federle and Butina. Butina's taking quite a few draws tonight for Menor.
Yeah, they kind of seems like they rotate between him and Moscow taking the face-offs on that line, but both of them usually have good success.
Portillo will flip one down on the right side of Rodebush. Now Diaz will take it. Nice job by Diaz to avoid the heavy forechecking there coming in from Portillo, who used the speed earlier to score the one-man goal show. Rodebush looking to pick up his 8th win, as are the Icebreakers. Wind up in a shot there. Just goes wide left, almost snuck it in. Was Austin Federle on a hard shot. Federle, although he's taken a couple big hits to the ice, he's provided some hard shots and some speed as well out there on the ice. Port Huron, a nice triangle passing here. They're cycling all around the Icebreakers defensive zone. Rebound went to get picked up by Vartian, and now it's a race for the puck. Vaughn Clouston and Brian Parsons, but Paulin will come out and tap it away from both of them. Nice heads-up play by the goalie there, Paulin. Clausen was racing for that one. Portillo takes it near the right circle defensive half here in front of the Icebreakers net. Now around the net to John Butita, the former Kent State Golden Flash of the Mid-American Conference right here in Northeast Ohio. Now the whistle on the ice there. Icing the call against the Prowlers. I actually went to a fellow MAC school at Bowling Green State University where head coach Ian Duncan went as well. Not at the same time, but Coach Duncan was named to the All-Century team for Bowling Green State University back in the year 2000. Of course, Coach Duncan also played professionally in the NHL on the Winnipeg Jets. Great story I did on a few months ago where he actually played his last game against Harvard on a Saturday, and that same Tuesday he played against the Calgary Flames. Can you imagine that, playing Harvard and Calgary in the same week?
Gotta grow up pretty quick there. You're not a college kid anymore.
Not at all, no time, and he scored a goal in his first game too, to boot. Now Crawford, nice tap pass backwards, sends it to Stuart Dant. Stuart Dant crosses over center ice, sends a leading pass to Crawford. Crawford trying to get it to McKenna in the slot. Has settled to get it back to Stuart Dant, but Stuart Dant trips up Giuliano. No call there. And Zulkanich will send it forward left side to Robertson.
There's going to be a call there on Stuart Dant, and he knew it right away. Kind of put his head back in frustration. He's got his stick tangled up.
Yeah, inadvertent. If it still happens, it happens. Dalton J now works it up. Sends it across to Stoya. Stoya winds up. Shot almost sneaks in. Rebound shot, tries to put it in. And the Prowlers do on the third try. They kept the first one out. They kept the second deflection out. Rodebush and Clauston both go. Clauston's been diving all over there almost like a goalie. And they kept a couple of the shots out, but the Prowlers finally pull one in and make it a 1-goal game at 4-3.
And that can happen sometimes when you get those penalty calls. Another team gets the extra tacker on the ice, makes things tough. You got to touch up quickly, or that's the kind of thing that could happen. All of a sudden, it's a 1-goal game.
We'll have to wait for official confirmation on the scores. That was the third rebound from the right side. Either way you slice it, though, Port Huron makes it 4-3.
Robertson was on the ice, so I'm not sure if he put that one.
I believe it is.
That's got to be.
I think I just heard it. It was Matt Robertson. So I'd like to tip a hat even here from Menor, Ohio, in the Menor Ice Arena. Matt Robertson, on not only his 300th point, he gets it in a big way. He does it with a goal. So congratulations to number 15, Matt Robertson, the lefty from Prince Albert, Saskatchewan, Canada. Picks up his 300 points. That's impressive, Jared.
That's
300 points.
Oh, absolutely, for Matt Robertson. It's a veteran FPHL guy. I believe he's one of only 3 or 4 people ever in this league to reach 300 points. So Browson and Ahmed Mahfouz, I know. A couple other active players that have done it.
Mahfouz on Elmira and Browson, a longtime Danville dasher. So big credit to Matt Robertson. Almost credit there to Moskal that gets tipped out and goes wide right. But again, big credit to Matt Robertson picking up his 300th career point. 15:51 now remaining here in the third period. And all of a sudden, it's a 1-goal game, and the Prowlers knocking on the door of tying it. Their record is 3-4. They trail 4-3. They're trying to go to 4-4, and to do that, they need to tie it up 4-4 first. And chasing this puck down, Farrington up here in the corner on the near boards. Morrow will help him out. But now it's going the other way. Federley crosses the right circle. Nice move, centers it. Drops the pass off to Parsons. Parsons with the wrist shot. And a nice save made by the Rodebush, helping avoid a rebound shot. But now Clauston and Gregorich.
Duncan came from behind on Gregorich. I'm not sure Icebreakers going to get away from this one without a penalty.
Clauston has been very physical tonight. It sometimes has paid off for Menor, like his diving efforts to protect Rodebush in that net. And a few times has earned a penalty. It's actually Brody Duncan going to bench, but Clauston was involved as well. Brody Duncan going to the penalty box. Gregorich looks like he's going in as well.
But Gregorich will go for the initial action, and Brody Duncan go for the retaliation.
Now, is that any way to spend your birthday weekend?
No, I don't think so.
You know how you spend the weekend better? You go to Moe's on Monday. Wouldn't you say that's better?
You should go tell that to those guys in the box.
Go down there and tell them about Mo Monday?
Yeah, I think they'll appreciate it right now.
$6.99, you get chips, salsa, many good salsa. You know which salsa I recommend, Jared? Because I have been to Moe's. Have you been to Moe's?
I have been to Moe's.
You know what the salsa to get is? You want my official recommendation?
I'm ready for it.
You need to get the tomatillo salsa.
Right.
It has like a brightness with a little heat with it. Very good.
Looks like Berger's going to get the call penalty against. Oh, it's Von Clauston for the Icebreakers and Gregorich for the Prowlers.
Yes.
That's what it is.
We're about to put everybody in the box.
So we'll play 4-on-4 for the next 2 minutes.
Was there not a scenario last year where we briefly played 3-on-3?
Sounds familiar.
At the end of the year,
Some
I believe.
crazy penalties.
Probably the Menor Elmira game. But we're not going to talk about that one. Now, 15:09 remaining. Nate Farrington crosses into the neutral zone. He'll dump that one behind the net. And it is 4-3. Prowlers with the lead, or Prowlers trailing, but they cut into the lead, excuse me, in 4-on-4 hockey for the next minute 40. Now Parsons fights his way past Dimitri Daniel, trying to work in and get a shot there left side, but good closeout by the Icebreakers defensive. Wow, Henry Berger takes an elbow from behind and take it down. That was Zachary Zulkanich that sends Berger to the ice. Now Berger taking his time in the circle, regaining control here, looking to see what he's going to do. Tried to cycle it back to Moskal, but Graham read that like a bad book and didn't let him do it. But now Icebreakers use it and turn it the other way. Butita to Moskal. Moskal bodies up with Parsons at the blue line. And Alfonso Diaz will end up retrieving the puck in the right defensive zone there. Now coming the other way, Joe Pace Jr. get off a shot as he sends it up to Matt Graham, but it goes out of play with 14:06 remaining. And we would like to thank our off-ice officials, Brian Kelly, Greg Butala, Greg Kopp, Warren Turn, Larry Rummel, Al Moon, and Lawrence Rummel on the sound crew, Jared Tennant, color commentary alongside me, and communications manager, and Casey Healy on the video stream. Thanks to everybody for making part of this broadcast happen and the game happen. Brody Duncan skates through. He's trying to make something happen here. And another whistle on the ice with 13:52 now remaining.
That was the Icebreakers' first shot of this period. Port Huron's come out playing really well, outshooting the Icebreakers 6-0 so far in the period. Menor really needs to pick it up here, or else it could be a tie game sooner rather than later.
We're trying to have a strong finish here at Menor Ice Arena because this will be the last home game until December 14th when Santa Claus will join us. Now Brody Duncan works it behind the net.
So he didn't like that little extra bit from Brody Duncan at the end.
A little bit of a scrum there in the corner. Not too happy. Stoya and Duncan, they'll sort this one out now.
27 seconds left, and the couple of minor penalties to both teams. 13:45 to go here in the last period of play.
4-on-4 hockey, and we will have a face-off. Stuart Dant will take the charge for Menor, but it's Port Huron that comes away with it. That's Zachary Zulkanich. 19 seconds remaining in the double minor, and now Graham with a shifty move behind the net, but he's got 3 icebreakers right there. He gets it to the slot to JJ, tries to ties it up, and Rodebush keeps that one out of the net. Stuart Dant coming the other way, and he's taken out low there by Joe Pace Jr. Kind of, I was going to back body drop him for a second.
Plays by Pace. He knows he held up just enough to not trip up Stuart Dant and get the penalty call, but he used his body and broke up the fast break for the Icebreakers.
Is that the equivalent of going through a yellow light fastly?
I can see that, yeah.
I'm just trying to equate that for our listeners.
Taking a little bit of risk, but it paid off.
Well, Joe Pace Jr. has been around the league for a while, and as a player coach, he knows that fine line. So both teams back to 5-on-5 hockey now, full strength. And take a look, 44-28, the shot on goal in favor of the visitor Prowlers, and it's paying off as they not ease their way, but fight their way back in the game. But Menor with the lead, scoring on 1 of every 7 shots on goal at this point.
Yeah, this is one of the first times I can remember this season the Icebreakers really significantly getting outshot.
13:02 left now here in the period. Port Huron trying to tie this one up. Looked like he just almost like tossed that one back, but Zach McKenna, that was straight. If I saw that correctly, it looked like Port Huron kind of backhand tossed the puck, but it went to Zach McKenna, who took the shot on goal.
Like some of the Prowlers defensemen were just kind of waiting for the puck to get to Paulin so he could cover it up for the faceoff, and McKenna hustled right through and got a good look at the net.
Zach McKenna, number 20 for the Icebreakers, the lefty out of Powell, Ohio. Face off here now to Clouston. Sends it through traffic. Zulkanich will intercept that one, and now he's boarded up that corner's had a lot of action in it. About 4 guys there. Joe Pace Jr., Zach McKenna. .12:30 remaining here in the third period of play. Well, Menor, we know all about shots on goal, not always translating to win. 50-plus shots against Delaware when Aaron Taylor had a 51-save game. How about that, though? Taking all along the boards. Who is that? That's an Icebreaker. He's snow-dusted. It's Isaiah Crawford. It looks like he got pushed all along the perimeter there. Now Giuliano the other way winds up, sends it over Rodebush off the back glass. Coming the other way fast, Parker Moskal. He's got Conway there. Could Conway be going for the hat trick?
Yeah, maybe a little bit too patient there from Parker, just held onto the puck.
Yeah, sometimes the only thing you'll see with Moskal, sometimes he surveys his options, looking for the best one, but sometimes if you wait too long, you can't get the best option off, even if it was the right one. Now another board up here in that left corner here on the near branch, but Owade's got it. Hatham Owade crosses the neutral zone, crosses center ice, crosses the blue line of the Icebreakers to Federley. Federley sped up through 2 Icebreaker defenders and almost scored there. Nice effort by Austin Federley.
2 guys really impressed me this weekend I didn't expect from Port Huron, or Federley and Portillo. Last year, look at Portillo, he's more of a grinder, but this year he's really transformed himself. He's second on the team in goals. He's been a big contributor on the power play, which is second best in the league, and he's really become a more complete player.
I would throw on for last night's effort, too, on Friday, Giuliano. He had a heck of a Friday night. Not that he hasn't done anything tonight, but really stood out last night. A wind-up shot there. That is from Richie Pinkowski back on the ice. Pinkowski fighting to keep that one alive. Takes a big elbow from Matt Graham, though. Port Huron trying to set something up at the other end. Big pass to Matt Graham. Wade had a wonderful pass through traffic that the only man able to take the shot was Matt Graham, and doesn't go in the back of the net, though. Credit to the Icebreakers there.
Still, you got to pick this up, or still 10:30 left to go in this third period. The Prowlers will convert if you don't start playing with a little bit more intensity.
Morrow's looking for Stuart Dant there on the leading pass, but it didn't get to him. Now, the thing you got to think here is it's almost a dangerous amount of time left. Would you agree with that? I mean, it's there's almost too much time left. This almost looks like Port Huron's turning it back onto earlier first period of last night for them. And it's not the time for Mentor to waver here.
Yeah, for sure. It's been like that all series, really. Just both teams kind of taking control of the game in spurts and really dominating play, and then all of a sudden it's the other side that's taking control. And right now it's been Port Huron for most of this third period, leading shots on goal 46-31.
And we won't see the Prowlers again, and we'll be back at home on Friday the 27th and Saturday the 28th after Christmas. Looking to see when do they travel to Port Huron? Not till January 31st and February 1st at McMorran Arena. Dalton Jay almost skated his way between Clauston and Daniel, but Daniel gloved that one down.
The great play by Clauston prevented the breakaway for Jay.
10-12 left. Jay went for the slot to Graham, but he's cut off by Crawford. Shot there, goes off the right post. Nippert's also had, I think, a pretty standout tonight. He has been in a lot of the right places at the right time. Hasn't scored, but
has an assist on that last Prowlers goal.
Tangled up there was Matt Graham in front of the slot. And it's coming the other way. 9:42 remaining. We're under less than halfway of the third period. Prowlers trying to fight and tie this one up. Icebreakers trying to get a home win. Long save there by Rodebush, and he'll hang on to it. He was going to drop it back off and said, hold on. We'll put the brakes on for a moment.
Now Elmira has taken lead over Delaware 4-3. So is
that 4 straight goals?
That is at least 3 straight. Carolina still up 8-3 now over Columbus.
So Columbus has rattled off 3. That's impressive after being down 0-8.
Yeah, never give up, I guess, when you're down 8-0.
How about Battle Creek and Danbury?
Hat-trick's taking control of that one. That's 9-2 Danbury, and then over in Watertown, they're still on top of the Dashers 1-0. But going back to that Elmira-Delaware game, Delaware was on top 3-0 in the second period at home, and Elmira just charged back with 4 unanswered goals in the second period, including a shorthanded goal by Brendan Hussey. Less than 3 minutes to go in the period. Now they're up 4-3, the second intermission.
And I saw Mafu score. Did they say who's in goal for Delaware?
I'd assume it's Aaron Taylor.
Because he was tremendous when we saw him here. I mean, everyone's going to have tougher nights.
It is Taylor. He had a good night up until midway through the second period when things kind of fell apart for the Thunder.
Elmira got fired up, the neon green machine. Now, you know one thing you have to give Delaware, Jared? Their self-named arena is a pretty cool name, the Thunderdome. You have to admit that.
You got to take advantage of the team name with that one. I like that.
That is a cool one. Wow, Battle Creek was down, what, was it only 2-4?
They scored first in that game. They were up 1-0. They tied it at 2-2, and then
at 30 seconds in, right?
Fell apart. Hat-tricks obviously have a little bit more talent than Rumblebees at this point, but he's kind of got out of hand pretty quickly.
They'll get there, though, the Rumblebees. Have faith. If you're in Battle Creek, you're the last expansion team to join, not only of the 4, but then you join a league of non-expansion teams. So we joined as the last team of 6. They're joining as the last team of 10.
I think everybody outside of Danbury is rooting for Battle Creek right now.
I mean, you can't be mad at the yellow and black attack.
No, you can't. You got to go for the yellow and black attack.
Face-off here at Mentor Ice Arena will be Parker Moskal and Jonathan Giuliano. Robertson, he sent that one right off the referee's midsection. Remember we talked, some of these pucks go up to 88 miles an hour. Now that wasn't 88, but still a little ding. Butita winds up and takes one off the front of his stick, goes off the crossbar, and here comes the Prowlers the other way. Quick on that counter. Zulkanich sends it far ahead. I thought he maybe would have waited and see if they could have got a 3-on-2 opportunity.
I was surprised they dumped that one in right to Rudabush. Like they might have had a chance for a little bit of a fast break.
9:07 remaining. Prowlers with 47 shots on goal to the 31 for Mentor. And you can also rewatch the games on YouTube if you missed part of it. Available on the Mentor Icebreakers YouTube channel. And Jared will have all of your game notes and recaps on the Icebreakers social media and website after the game. Here comes Conway. A lot to recap from him on a 3-point net. Sends one ahead of Moskal. Can Moskal get there? Moskal does, but he loses control of it as there was 2 Prowlers to the 1 Moskal. And Brian Parsons comes away with it and sends a laser. Referee jumps over. Nice jump by the official there.
Yeah, they had some trouble getting out of the way of pucks tonight. That was a great job there. Nice athletic showing there by the linesman.
He stuck the line. Hey, that's the thing. The officials have to have some skating prowess as well. I think I've mentioned I can't skate a lick. I'm lucky if I could get the skates on and stand on the ice. Can you skate, Jared?
Well, I can stand and I'm respectable at least. I can hold my own, but I'm not really good at it.
But you can stand on ice?
I can, yes.
You're over me, so.
Got to get you out there, one of the post-game skates.
No, that nobody wants to see that.
I think everybody wants to see that, actually.
It's painful. I did it once in college, and I retired my skates after that. Austin Federley now will take the draw against Nate Farrington, the top draw guy for the Icebreakers. Costin gets it up. Nice move. That's Pinkowski showing off some speed there, some wheels.
He played well in limited time tonight, has Richie.
I also have seen a lot of maturity from Richie Pinkowski. He is, of course, a physical player, but he's added a lot of just more skating prowess as well this year.
He's one of those guys, as he lays a big hit there. He's one of those guys that knows his role. He's not going to try to score a bunch of goals. He knows he's a grinder. He can. He's going to play hard. He's going to give you everything he has whenever he's in the lineup.
He always has a good attitude. He's one of those hustle guys, and you love those kind of players. You got to have the guys who will go out and say, "I'll give you 110%." 8:05 remaining here in the third period. We'll have a face-off in the left defensive circle in front of Paulin. Paulin's even at 3-3, so one way or another, he's either going to be above or below 500 in the net for the Prowlers. So Icebreakers have a few interesting statistics with top point scorers, top two, and then also Rodebush, the only goalie to play in every period of every game so far. The workhorse of this Menor team comes out there. Got to get back into position as Portillo was speeding down. Wow, wind-up shot that just went whizzing past the face of Stuart Dant there.
Job by Berger, hustling to get that puck. Diving poke check, get it out of the zone.
Now fighting for control of the puck over center ice. A stick lost there by Portillo. McKenna sends it to Stuart Dant, sends it just behind the net. Be an interesting conclusion to the game. And Stuart Dant scores his first goal as a Menor Icebreaker. And he is excited about that one. The Winnipeg native makes Coach Duncan proud. And the veteran scores his first one. Tosses the puck to Coach Duncan over the ice. And a little keepsake there maybe for Stuart Dant.
That's a guy who scored hundreds of pro goals professionally. That's his first one in the FPHL in some time. So Stuart Dant, that's a great play. That's a big goal in this game, pushing the lead to 2 goals with 7:21 left in the third period.
What'd you see on that goal from the veteran where he saw something that maybe the defense didn't see?
Just in the right place at the right time and put a great shot over the shoulder of Chris Paulin.
Right place at the right time over the right shoulder, and that's sometimes all you're going to do. 7:13 now, and that 7-minute and 21-second goal for Menor is a big one because it stretches the Icebreaker lead to 2. That's huge with this time winding down, Jared, because 4-3, it's almost like the winning team, even though you have the advantage, your backs are up against the wall because you can tell Port Huron's breathing down them.
For sure, 2 goals is, you always say it's the worst lead in hockey, but right now, 7 minutes to go, I'm sure the Icebreakers are pretty happy.
Well, you can't let your guard down because if they score one quick, it's only a 1-goal game back to it. But I think if you're Coach Duncan and Coach Ragnow and you're Rodebush in the net, you'll take being up 2 than over being 1 at the end of this game, although Port Huron almost does that right there.
That brother is showing this game is far from over.
Someone takes a hard blow from behind there. That's Matt Graham and Vaughn Clauston, another big hit. Clauston has been very physical tonight. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, for sure. He's been one of the defensemen really been stepping up for Rodebush. He's been a lot of Prowlers getting in his crease and getting up in his face right at the whistle as he's trying to freeze these pucks.
Wow, a backhand sliding pass from Stoya to keep it alive, but the Icebreakers will dump into that. So 6:15 remaining. Keep it right here on YouTube.com for the exciting conclusion of this one. Stuart Dant, the veteran, picks up his first goal as an Icebreaker. I remember how exciting it was when Diesel came back and scored last year at the end of the season.
Not quite the same situation.
No, but when you finally break through a guy who's had so much, experience, obviously Diesel has been playing for a very, very long time and still can get out on the ice and full speed ahead.
Sure, we talked about Stuart Dant. He's really not been so aggressive his first couple of games. He only had 1 shot through 2 games, had a -1 rating. Really had been kind of quiet, but he makes his presence felt in a big way here late in the third period.
What makes me feel old, though, is that Stuart Dan is considered a veteran, and I was born before him.
That's a tough look for you.
Thank you, Jared, for your love, care, and support here. That one goes off the safety net. Rodebush taking a quick drink during this break as it goes, or taking a quick drink, excuse me. Hey, if you haven't checked out Menor Ice Arena, tickets start at just $13, $16, or $30 for the Founders Room, the ultimate experience. You got to come and check out the new Shark Tank section for the rowdy fans like Jared. Jared's rowdy here in the Breakers broadcast, but we could barely contain him in this booth. We almost send him down to the Shark Tank because he wants to bang on the glass. But you can join those fans down there in the Shark Tank. Robertson trying to pick up .301 behind the net now. Flipped, oh my gosh, Clauston spikes that one like a volleyball player.
That net's been coming off all night, and it does again. It's kind of hurt both teams. That time it hurt the Prowlers if they had something going in the offensive zone.
Yeah, but you're talking about the net. Did you see Clauston bumps that spike there? He
gotta do what you gotta
blasted
do.
that puck out of there.
It's not the first time that puck's been kind of loose in the air in front of the net, and the Icebreakers defensive had to kind of swat it out of the air to get it out of the danger area. Look at those shots on goal. 55 at 32 in favor of Port Huron. Rodebush having his best game as an Icebreaker.
Definitely at home. I know he had some strong efforts, especially in the win over Watertown in the season opener. Of course, we were the last team with a home game as the Icebreakers played their first 5 on the road. 5:08 left here in this one. So Menor trails by 23 shots on goal, but they're up 2 goals on the scoreboard. Now behind the net, battling for control, Alfonso Diaz. Tips it forward. Back to Portillo, though, at the other end. Crosses the right side of the blue line in the corner now. Could be a very interesting conclusion here. Dalton Young winds up and sends one just wide right off the backboards. Trying to get it to 08 in the slot there. He's kind of pushed out of it. Brody, Duncan, and Rodebush are in between him and the net. Duncan on him like glue here. And now Portillo winds up, bounces off the right pad of Rodebush, and Portillo gets his own rebound. He's done that a couple times, including on the first goal scored tonight, but he's got Butita and Moskal on him. Stoya, though, comes away with a quick outlook pass to the right side. 4:02 remaining now. Moskal flips it forward, gets it to Conway, but he gets tripped up, and that would have been a 1-0, Jared.
Well, you can't fault Vartianen for taking that penalty. If you're going to take a penalty, it's a great time to do it. And obviously not the situation with the game, but Conway would have had a 1-on-0 with the goalie. That could have put the Prowlers out of reach in this one.
I would have smelled a hat trick right there.
I know Declan wanted it.
So the tripping call puts the Icebreakers on the Lake Cal power play. Big thanks to the Lake Cal Athletic Trainers medical staff and providing the Live Healthy Fitness Center right here in Menor. Caddy corner to the Menor Ice Arena. We'll have a face-off between Graham and Farrington at the right defensive circle. As things wind down here. And it's been a pretty exciting game. And the rematch from last night. Morrow now crosses the circle, gets it behind the net to McKenna. And that is Larry Vartiainen that goes to the box for the first time this weekend. Vartiainen from Finland. I'll let Jared say the city name.
I'll pass on that.
Now over to Farrington. Right side crosses over center ice. It's got McKenna. Can he get it to him in the slot? He does! Just missing rebound. Almost there for Alex Morrow. Cleared out. Nice job there by Graham to get it up to the speedster, Jay.
Be careful. You can't be too aggressive even on the power play here. Port Huron's got that speed. They can counterattack really quickly.
Morrow literally takes the puck away from him, but now right back stolen by Young. Young trying to deke out 2 defenders, but unable to take the disadvantage of numbers. Moskal feeds it up to Conway. Conway wants to make something happen. Sends it to Peter, right circle, and a nice scoop and save made by Paulin. So when you take a look, we talked about a few times this game. We gave credit to Aaron Taylor for his 51-goal performance in the Thunder 3-2 win the other Saturday, last Saturday, correct that. And we'd be remiss to say, yes, Rodebush has let 3 in, 1 more than Taylor. Rodebush has 54 saves on the night.
Like I said, it's a career night so far for the young man.
54 saves on the night. And Jared, I'd also be remiss to say that's a page in Icebreaker history, because the most saves in one game was set on November 17th against these here Port Huron Prowlers in the first Icebreakers win against Carolina. He had 50. So a page in history, add that to your binder, because Austin Rodebush now in the record books,
You got to put an
most saves
asterisk
in one
next
game.
to that one. It's if you recall, that one time Carolina put up 74 shots on us, but there was 2 different goalies that played that game. So
Right.
this is the most saves ever had by one goalie in a game.
So very impressive. Austin Rodebush. Stuart Dan makes it 2 goals. The veteran says, I'm on fire. 6-3 Icebreakers. 2:08 remaining. Stuart Dan. He's having a period tonight in the 3rd period.
Second power play goal of the night for the Icebreakers, and that one's just about going to seal the deal here with 2:08 to go in the final period.
So the Icebreakers scored 2 in the 3rd period yesterday, 1 in the first tonight, 3 in the second, 2 in the 3rd today, and outscored the Prowlers over the last 4 periods going 7-3 after being outscored 4-0 over the first 2 yesterday.
Definitely a frustrating way for this one to end for the Prowlers. They've outshot the Icebreakers 22-9 this period. They've been doing everything they can, but Rodebush really has been the difference so far. Pollen's not really playing all that badly, but he's given up a couple of goals I'm sure he wants back.
Well, you're seeing capitalization tonight from the Icebreakers, which was missing last night.
They got to take advantage, especially against the Prowlers are a good team. Make no mistake.
Thomas Stewart Dant, the lefty from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. Oh, are they giving the credit to Butita? I thought it was Stewart Dant there.
Not have been Butita who put that one in, but Stuart Dant was on the ice.
It looked off the stick of Stewart Dant. We'll have to get
I'll have to correct it later
confirmation.
too, but we'll see. I'm sure John, with all the goals he's had this year, will be quick to give that one to Thomas Stewart Dant.
Petita, of course, leads in goals scored and points scored. We'll look for official confirmation here. Jared watching the replay as well. Minute 10 remaining. 20 more shots on goal for the Prowlers, and but it's been Menor. Menor capitalizing and playing better defense. I would say that has been the 2 keys to the game. As we are under minute play, we won't be with you from the Menor stream until December 14th, when guess who comes to town? The Battle Creek Rumblebees, and then the Thunderbirds for 2 before Christmas, then Danbury and Port Huron after Christmas. So a lot of home games right around the holidays, but it'll be 5 games in a row after the icing call here, 37.8 seconds left. We'll be on the road. Well, we won't be, but the Icebreakers will be on the road. You can catch the road stream, though. That's with Columbus. Columbus is coming up next, 3 with them. 1 before Thanksgiving and 2 after, similar to the Carolina series last, except not split. And then 2 against Danville in away series, much like the first Watertown series. And then they'll play 1 with Battle Creek before returning home.
Looking back at this game, I don't know if the Icebreakers necessarily played all that well defensively, giving up 57 shots, but Rodebush has been, this is definitely his best game as an Icebreaker. He's been on top of his game, and this is why he's made himself one of the best goalies in the FPHL early in the season.
Mosko takes a spill to the ice, 18.2 seconds remaining. Fast skating now by Nippert. He's got Jay center. Jurovic just pushes him to the ice.
Getting a chippy here after that one.
Get some dip. There's only 6.6 seconds left, though, and I'd like to see him just close it out, because at this point, you know, the game is all but over with zeros on the scoreboard here on Princess Superhero Villanay. Who's your superheroes tonight for the Icebreakers?
Gonna have to give it to Thomas Stewart Dant with that big goal that kind of sealed the win, made it 5-3. That was a big one. First goal of the season.
I'd say a second superhero, give a cape to Declan Conway here in Painesville, Ohio, as he knocks in 2 goals and has a 3-point night. And then I'd also say, you got to say Austin Rodebush.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm surprised here that Jurovic isn't going to go for that initial hit that kind of started all that, but they are going to get the Prowlers for the retaliation, it looks like.
I'm a little surprised because Jurovic clearly did send him over.
That would have been an easy interference call, but it doesn't really matter with 6 seconds left in the game.
He could be like Freddie Kitchens. He says, if you're not wearing orange and brown, you don't matter. 5 seconds left here in the third period. Again, good luck as they'll finish out the Perry High School and Kirtland High School playoff games. But here tonight, the final score, the Menor Icebreakers 6, the Port Huron Prowlers 3. It's a final. The Icebreakers improve to 8-3 and get the weekend split series.
Yeah, that's one you can thank Osterbusch for. Offense was pretty solid overall. Obviously, that third period burst and had a really good second period. But definitely one of the stronger games the Icebreakers have played this year against tough competition.
And Rodebush, I would say, his best home outing here. Yes, he just gives up the 3 goals, but when you talk about 50-plus saves and the amount of offense he saw coming his way, we got to talk to him about being an absolute workhorse out there. He worked hard in this one game alone, but he's played all 11 games every period. That's 33 periods, Jared. My math is correct, 11 times 3.
At this point last year, the Icebreakers are still searching for a goalie. They had Matt Camilleri here in the season. They had Joel Eisenhower. They really couldn't find a guy that could lock down that number 1 spot until they found Derek Moser, eventually signed John Selly Hansen, and had a pretty good tandem. But this year so far, it's been all Austin Rudebush, and that's what it's going to continue to be, barring an injury.
So a big win there for the Icebreakers. It was 1-1 at the end of one. And then it was 4-2 at the end of 2. And the final is 6-3. Icebreakers pick up the win and improve to 8-3. The Icebreakers in second place in West Division. You got a quick score on Watertown to see where we fare with them as they won last night.
Still on top 1-0 over Danville.
So if Watertown wins, although very close and low scoring there, they would still be 1 game out after this weekend. Not bad, Jared, as we near the tail end of November. Not bad at all. And Port Huron falls to 3-5-2-0. Still very much in the thick of the hunt there in the Western Division, and they provided us with a great weekend series. Strong effort from the Prowlers last night, winning 4-2. The Icebreakers win 6-3 here. Any final thoughts, Jared, as we wrap up this weekend broadcast?
Well, tonight for the second period flurry, that was really all that Icebreakers top line of Moscow, Butita, and Conway. Declan Conway had a great game tonight, his first 4-point night of the season, a couple of goals and 2 assists. But overall, it was a full team effort, especially in that third period. Thomas Stewart-Dane finally got his name in the score sheet with a couple of big goals to seal the victory.
So did we ever an official scoring line on that last goal? What was the scoring line on that?
That was adjusted. Stewart-Dane scored the goal. I believe it was Declan Conway and Brody Duncan on the assist.
So we were correct. Stewart-Dane did have the goal, but Declan picks up his 4th point on the assist. So Stewart-Dane with a 2-goal night, Declan Conway with the 2-goal night and 2 assists for 4 points, and then Austin Rodebush with the record 54 saves on goal wraps up a big Icebreaker 6-3 win. Check out the road stream over the next couple of weeks. We'll be back on December 14th. Santa's coming to town. Jared, have you been good?
I think I have.
You think you've been good? He'll be coming to your area?
I hope so.
He'll be coming to Menor Ice Arena. Bring the kids, bring the Fanatics, bring the Junior Icebreakers, bring them all here to Menor Ice Arena. Once again, the final, the Menor Icebreakers 6, the Port Huron Prowlers 3. They split the weekend series. And until next time, we'll see you later.